Good evening, weird friends, or whenever you decide to watch this. It's Total Recall, the show that remembers it for you. I'm Jethro Bot, and I'm trying to work the controls correctly, but I usually have a hard time with that. So, good evening, everyone. Tonight we're watching, flashbacks. Yes, it's true. Good stuff. Here's my movie watching buddy, the wizard from the land of the Vermontosaurus.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And cheers.
Check it out. I'm doing a little fancy glass.
You're very fancy.
Yeah. Go Reds. It's baseball season time. Okay.
No, I don't watch baseball, but go Wizards.
Go Wizards. Well, yeah, we say that all the time. All right. Well, I just want to talk a little bit with you about the movie that we're going to be discussing real quick, Rock and Rule. Before we bring everybody else out, this was your choice. This was the movie you wanted to revisit to see, I think you had an inkling anyway, whether or not this is still something safe to recommend to people who have this cherished memory in their minds. People who fondly remember good old rock and roll. So, like, what is it about this movie? Like, what called out to you about it?
Oh God, everything.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, and this is something I definitely want to talk about more when we have everybody in here, but I have a particular fondness for movies where the music or a song specifically is what saves the world.
Gotcha.
Like the power of music has always been a big part of my life. So when you combine that with this is what saves everything, I'm a sucker for that.
Gotcha. Awesome.
And this was really one of the first movies that I can recall where that particular vibe happened.
Cool. Yeah, it's got to agree with you. It's a beautiful thing when the power of rock and roll can save people. So let's go ahead and bring out the rest of our guests. We've got a very special surprise for you. It's not Mr. Gravy though. The surprise is that he's actually here on time.
It's shocking.
It's
I dig the shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got this at Sun Studios.
Oh, how is that? I've never done that.
Well, I really liked it, but we should have taken the tour. But we were there just as quickly as possible, and we didn't have really time to do the tour. So, but I mean,
God, I see.
Yeah, but it's not. There wasn't much more to it than what we saw. Like, they took you to the room where you could see the actual recording studio, and that's like what we didn't see. But there's a picture of the recording studio right next to the door going to the recording studio. So it's pretty close.
You just have to use your imagination.
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. All right. I'm also going to bring on Bride of Pumpkinhead. I always want to call you Bride of Frankenstein.
That's you got the reference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at
Theo has some commentary in a movie where some of the characters are dog people hybrid.
Mhm.
So he wanted to be
Yay,
on this
Theo.
one.
He wanted to
Yeah.
be on here. Yeah, he
Yeah.
thinks he likes the idea of a world where
He's a star.
dogs are in charge.
He looks a little bit like Omar.
Yeah, I think he had really identified with him. Like he's had it
Yeah.
up here with everybody's bullshit.
He kind of
Oh,
looks like a
are we allowed to
henchman.
cuss yet?
Well, technically no. but,
Yeah, let's
you
put him
know,
on some roller skates.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. He's
I mean,
fine,
we-
Adam. He
we
lives a
warned-
charmed life.
Is he ever fine? Okay. And we're gonna have a double dose of our friends from San Diego tonight. Very sad that Sandra couldn't make it. She has had a busy week and has not been able to check out Rock and Rule. So, but we do have Barbara Lawrence
Howdy.
from B-Sides and someone who I have been watching movies with and making fun of them since 1994. So I'm very pleased to be bringing out someone I believe already had an opinion about Rock and Roll prior to us revisiting it. It's our friend Adam Gray from B-Sides. Adam, how are you?
I'm a little distraught that this no swearing policy wasn't announced to me earlier. I don't want to get you guys demonetized.
What? Think of how all
Too
20
late.
of our subscribers will be disappointed.
And it's
Normally-
only 7 minutes.
Normally,
I can't.
I get all my swearing out every Friday night. But
Yeah. I
Sure,
can't
sure.
remember if it's 7 or 8 minutes. 7 minutes. Okay.
sure.
Thank you.
I'm only
Thanks.
here for the vulgarity.
Thank you, Reapins. And yes, as a matter of fact, you could just go ahead and swear now. Swear away. Everyone swear at once.
Oh,
On the
thank
count of
fucking
3,
God.
Oh, God.
everyone.
Yeah.
On the count of 3, everyone pick your favorite swear word. Okay. Ready?
Ooh,
1, 2, 3. Horse
Fuck
Son of a
nuggets.
Marine.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Excellent. All right.
Mine was so bad I had to say it quietly. My favorite.
It's okay.
I didn't hear it. Say it again.
Nope.
You'll have to watch the
just-
recording.
Yeah.
He just shouts AIDS. It's not. No one.
No one
not-
gets it.
No one
Everyone
likes
looks
it.
at me confused and a little
It's not
appalled.
a swear. It's not a swear.
How long has your brother had Tourette's, Jeff?
Well, you've met him before. Yeah, we go way back to Columbus, Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
I
have,
see bus.
I have
Yeah.
Jeremy to thank for a lot of my favorite movies. Yeah,
Oh wow.
turned me on to good Hong Kong cinema stuff that I didn't know anything about back in the day. So, cheers.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's right. When we were talking about Hard Boiled, you had mentioned that
Yeah,
Jeremy turned you on to The Killer, right?
yeah, all the Chow Yun Fat stuff and all the goodies.
Oh man, I have had such a hankering to watch Hard Boiled lately. I haven't watched Hard Boiled in over a decade, at
It's-
least. God, I
Yeah,
love that movie.
You also recommended The Bride with White Hair, which was great.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good movie.
Yeah,
A
Bride
bunch
with
of stuff
White
because
Hair's
I
good.
was more of an anime nerd at that point, so
Mhm.
I didn't know too
Sweet.
much ultra violence. But
Yeah.
cheers.
Yeah.
And all those guys who were bopping around on bamboo sticks, on the ends of bamboo. Which one is that one? Is that
That's the bamboo saucer, I believe.
yeah? No. This was a real movie. This was no drunken fever dream. I assure you. I actually saw what I'm describing right now.
That's what you think.
There was just I don't know. There was some movie that we were watching right around that.
I
time.
think it
There were
was called
several titles.
Bamboo on Fire.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Bamboo's
Bamboo
on Fire.
on fire. That's
A kitty
thank
has
you,
entered the
Gravy.
chat.
Thank you, Gravy on fire. All right. Well, we're going to get to it. And I'm just going to say right now that I can't really be point person on this one too much. Like I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit, but it's kind of difficult to find stuff out about it. But someone here in the room knows a lot about it. So
Pretty sure that me and Mick could do all the dialogue if you
All-
want, and the musical parts.
yeah, and we
Which is
have a
pretty cool.
very special edition today, and I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. We have a slideshow that is the movie. So like while
Visual
we
aids.
Oh,
yeah, we have like this entire start to finish like fun little deal. So
Yeah, it's in basically it's in real time. There's about 5 or 10 seconds extra, but if you want to play it at a faster speed, you're welcome to. But it'll be the regular run time of the movie, which is like an hour 15, I think.
yeah,
wow.
well, I mean that's actually kind of perfect for our conversation. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and and it's just fun, like one thing that I wanted to say at the start of this is in conversation, we revealed that this was a cable mainstay. And usually a cable mainstay, something that HBO or one of its competitors would show over and over and over again, was something that cost a lot of money, but didn't make a lot of money
Right.
at the box office.
Cheap to rent.
Yeah.
So yeah, they
Looking
just,
for maximum interest, maximum grab with minimum return, like, oh, they sure advertised the hell out of Howard the Duck, so we're going to show the shit out of Howard the Duck on cable, like.
Well, I was looking at the Wikipedia page about this movie, and I mean, there are bombs and there are bombs, and boy, and so you lose money on movies, but they lost the freaking farm on this.
yeah, they
movie.
lost more money than Disney on this.
Yeah,
Except it's not really fair to talk about them losing money on it as much as it is they chose to lose money on it.
right.
They did not market it. They did not distribute it. It played in a handful of theaters at most.
Yeah, it went
there's
way over
very
budget.
few people. Yeah,
The
Well-
MGM just kind of washed their hands and said, we don't even want to mess with it.
Oh wow, yeah.
So-
It was better to take the loss than to put money into advertising and print making.
Yeah, at that time, I think the budget was about 8 million, if I'm correct, and it made like 50 grand at the box office or less.
Oh,
But you could tell that
yeah, it
people,
hurts, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, come on.
you could tell that the people that made this made it because they loved it and they believed in it, and they did their best with what they had, and it took years of production.
yeah.
And I think it shows.
And to illustrate, I think, how much they loved it or how much of a passion project this was, the studio actually had the option to do heavy metal.
Hmm.
Like they had been approached, we want you to do this movie. And they
This
said,
is
no.
this is the Nelvana studio that we saw at the
Yes.
very start. Okay.
Yes, Nelvana was approached to do heavy metal.
Mhm.
And they had been working on what was essentially the precursor to this called Drats, which was a much shorter
And
thing.
a little
And
more
they
polished
decided,
and
nope,
more-
that's what we want to go with.
Yeah.
This is the project we want to make. Take your little heavy metal and
Yeah. Didn't heavy metal also lose money though, or am I making that up?
In my
thought
head,
heavy-
I believe that's true. Yeah.
Yes.
It didn't do well in the theaters, and that was it back
Yeah.
in the day.
yeah.
You did a box office or you didn't.
it, however, was marketed and distributed.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like they gave it a shot, but there just weren't enough of us weirdos back then to.
The world wasn't ready, but now both films are solid cult classics.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, I just froze it on the preamble here because I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of what goes on.
Which, by the way, is not in the original. Canadian version
Oh,
of
really?
Rock and Roll.
They just go right into it in
This slide, the
Canadian
next
version?
slide is in it,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Oh, gotcha. Mock the
this is in
legendary
it,
sequel.
but the precursor there about why everybody are mutants had not been included, and that's something MGM had insisted they add
Yeah, we
when they
get sort
took
of
over distribution.
a Blade Runner-y sort of crawl here that
Yeah.
gets you into the world real quick.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's very funny that they insisted on adding a little bit more preamble to a movie that no one was going to see anyway. They're like, I don't want that. I don't want that $50,000 to be unhappy. You know,
I just
And
can't-
they recast the lead actor.
yeah.
that's
the
right.
voice
And
of
they
the lead
recast the
actor.
lead actor. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
wanted to have like somebody who was
Quote,
You
name
know,
recognition.
name recognition.
So they
yes.
got Paul LeMat?
Yes, exactly. The
Right.
well-known,
Oh, I
Well,
love Paul
famous
LeMat.
Paul LeMat.
He's
Box
the
office
best.
fire.
I see every Paul LeMat movie, all of them.
He was on the tip of everyone's tongue in 1983.
What we need is the velvet tones of Paul LeMat.
You know who they did have that drifted off from the production? Originally, the club owner was played by Howie Mandel.
Oh,
Oh wow.
What?
there's a loss.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
that's too bad.
he had recorded a bunch of stuff, but since they did this in segments and pieces, they'd record a few minutes on a scene and then they'd animate it and they'd get the actors back and so on. Howie ended up moving to LA because he just started breaking out and left the project.
Wow.
Mhm.
Also, another.
His
What?
loss.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, I can't imagine like a worse like destruction. I mean, of a chance for such a work of love by a studio exec dickwads
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, man, these guys went $3 million over budget, spent years making this movie. They got Debbie Harry, Lou Reed to record great music. Cheap Trick wrote all these songs.
Yeah.
Let's just throw it in the trash can.
Bennett.
Yeah.
I
In
mean, like,
fact,
God damn, man, that's heartless.
if
that's
I'm not
heartless.
mistaken, this is the only time Debbie Harry and Cheap Trick did anything together.
Sounds
The
great.
only time I know of.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, you
which is
get
just crazy.
The reprise at the end, you actually end up with like all four of the major artists contributing a little bit to that big swelling finale, which is
Wow.
kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
They weren't all in the same room, but you know, it was
Yeah.
multi-tracked. But that's kind of an amazing moment in music.
I played it on my stereo a couple times in the last week,
Yeah.
and I've had it in my head almost constantly. Like they could have like did a little refined cut and had a super single. Like that would have been a smash hit, I think.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunately another thing that we lose on the American version is they remixed the sound and made it very muddy.
Mm.
The Canadian version, the soundtrack is so much clearer.
Interesting.
You know what?
Unfortunately, there is not a print of the Canadian version, so the only copy we have of it is from a VHS rip.
I did notice that it sounded muddy,
Yeah, it is.
and I was like, wow. So you know, could they not have cleaned that up a little bit?
They did.
But not for us.
No, that's what you got. What you heard as muddy was the cleaned up version.
Man, that is some badass animation.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say
there's code in the hologram.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of this they had to create how to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are simulated computer effects. There is some wireframe work. That green speaking avatar is actually computerized, but like
that is Mock's computer for anyone like watching along. This is Mock talking to his computer, and this is how the computer manifests. So
yeah. So
that's Mock there, shrouded in secrecy so far.
Who's the man in the van?
Mock, whose original name in the script was Mock Jagger.
It was
Mock Swagger.
Mock
Right?
Swagger. That's right.
Mock
Mock
Swagger.
Swagger.
Yes.
any similarity to tired old musicians is purely coincidental.
Well, it was supposed to be a lot more, and they approached Mick Jagger about doing it,
Hmm.
and his response was
Fuck off.
from a lawyer that said, "If you in any way pursue this, there will be a lawsuit, and we will
Wow.
fight it to the fullest extent."
Wow. Wow. So his name's just Mock,
Go.
and
And thanks
And
a
they
lot.
added some elements of David Bowie
yeah,
to detract a little bit from the Jaggerosity.
Oh yeah, like the wigs and the costumes and yeah.
And being very sleek, I think.
Mhm.
There's a lot of the thin white Duke there.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
But the lips are pure Jagger.
Laura,
Girls.
I'm pretty sure Laura needs to get an Omar wig for that dog.
We can do that.
Oh,
That that
There's
is
your
Theo.
channel
Yes,
right
that is
there.
Theo. Yeah.
okay.
We've talked about having a Theo cam. But and here's another example. Here he is playing video games. These are the good guys, the band, and like the effects that are in the video game are just incredible, you know. This
And
is
very, very cobbled together, very Frankenstein together. It's all, a lot of combined effects and multiple exposures and good old
Yeah, it's a
fashioned
grab bag.
backlighting and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
how they used to do it back in the day.
Yep.
There was a scene in the big city
Mm-hmm.
where the
I
headlights
love that.
the headlights on all the
That would
cars
be a
are
great
actual
tattoo.
LED lights.
Yes, yeah, they built models of a lot of the cars, and some of them were just paper cutouts, and they attached
The-
little LEDs to the car.
And pulled them
Pushed
on
it around.
cables.
Yep,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
get the shot, man. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, it's
I've
great.
played in a band before, and I've never had someone just introducing the bands. You know, like
Like an
it's,
MC.
yeah, it's like maybe happened like one time we did a thing for abolishing the death penalty, and we did get introduced for that, you know. But that's it. Like I would love to have somebody come out in between, you know, and like introduce each act and like jazz the crowd up. What happened to that? You know?
The only time I've ever done it in a band or had an MC was like at high school battle of the bands. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that, of course,
Yeah.
was unmitigated disaster for us. They didn't like us.
You don't say.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Your high school didn't like you. Man.
I had already been thrown out of that high school, and I came back to play the show.
oh yeah, that's rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
Punk rock, baby.
So I thought this was kind of an interesting scene that it introduces you to these people, and they're playing a great song, but for some reason the club owner doesn't like it. You know, he's like, no, I'm not into Cheap Trick. You know,
Yeah, but
like
the main tag
He's
is
wrong.
I hate you. And that's
Yeah.
pretty much the song, and it's fucking great. It's one of the best Cheap Trick songs ever. But yeah, they get the plug pulled on them, and then
the song is called "I Hate You."
Yes.
That's so great.
Born to Raise Hell or something like that is the actual title. But the line is just, I hate you and I hate this town. I don't need you.
Nice.
And, of course, Angel has been asking the whole time to be able to do a song that she wrote, and the band decides to kick in and back her up.
Yeah,
which hurts Omar's feelings.
And Omar walks away because he's
kind of a dick. Yeah,
he's a little emo.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about this character's twin voices? I want to hear from some other folks who are maybe fans. One of these voices, if not both. No,
You mean the singing voices, or do you mean?
Yeah. This character here. Yeah.
Well,
we
this
haven't really
character,
talked
yeah,
about
this
it too much.
character, her singing voice is done by Debbie Harry.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
awesome.
Debbie and Chris Stein from Blondie wrote this song and one other song that she does
Mhm.
specifically for the movie.
And the song that she sings, the song she's singing here in the scene where you first meet them, that song is reprised later. It is so catchy.
Yeah.
Why was this not on the radio? This
Yeah.
is a song that really gets into your head. It's really cool.
Yeah, not only was this film like just sort of swept under the rug, but all of the music just vanished for decades.
Yeah. Like people don't know that Cheap Trick have a song called I Hate You.
Yeah.
That's not right.
No.
Everyone should hear it.
On the Wikipedia page I was reading, it said something about like they never could release a soundtrack because all the different artists had different contractual conflicts preventing. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How is it different from any other soundtrack? But
It's the same thing that happened on Heavy Metal.
oh, really?
It actually happens on a lot of movies. So when you say like other soundtracks, the reality is this happens to other film soundtracks all the time, and it puts the films that have these soundtracks into rights limbo. And
hell, you might call it.
Hell, yeah.
Yeah, you could not get a DVD or a copy of the soundtrack of Heavy Metal. No, you could get the soundtrack, but you couldn't get the DVD of the movie.
Couldn't get the movie. I had the double vinyl that
for
came
decades
out in the mid '80s. I bought it new, but
wow.
the only place you could see it was HBO.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
That's Mylar, a club owner, schmoozing Mock.
Yeah.
Being his greasiest self. And that could have been Howie Mandel, folks.
Well, the guy they got to do it, I feel like all the voices, not the singing voices, but the folks they hired to be in this movie all seem to be pretty like classic stalwart of the time cartoon voices. They all seem very familiar to me, including Mylar. Like it seems like Mylar does a lot.
They all have that quality. But a lot of these people were just like, some of them are animators. Some of them are like people doing scratch tracks and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Apparently, and this is really common on an indie movie like that has impossible odds, but a lot of people filled a lot of multiple chairs. So.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, here
plus he had super duplicitous pencil thin mustache, so
Yeah.
Although the voice of Angel was actually she was well known in Canada especially, and I think she was one of the sailors in the Sailor Moon anime.
Whoa.
Wow. That's real money, folks.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't distribute this film. They felt like that guy was an insulting representation of the company man.
Of rats.
And the people at MGM were like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's dirty."
Whoa. Yeah. A little close to the mark there, but
yeah,
not fair.
Yeah.
So Mock's magical ring goes off in the club.
Oh, yes.
And he realizes that he's onto something with Angel's voice.
He's looking for this voice to open a portal to hell and summon a demon, which he thinks will allow him to take over the world. No assumption that the demon might, choose not to work for him.
I mean, that seems like a fair business plan. I think it's risk averse, and what could go wrong?
Yeah,
a little gamble, but odds are good. Demons are cooperative when summoned.
It's oddly enough not that unusual of a trope. That somebody is, like it just seems to happen. So, yeah.
Maybe we should summon a demon and see what happens.
I'm here, aren't I? Also like to complain about the veggie tray in the green room.
Well, you know it's cheap is celery, okay? You know what's cheap is celery and cubed Swiss cheese.
And
So
crap
that-
hummus.
and honeydew. So that's what you're getting, okay? You're getting honeydew, celery, and cubed Swiss cheese. And if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, you know.
You'll be hearing from my caveman lawyer.
You know, what else did I get? I got ginger root flavored Melba toast and some mustard hummus. That's what I got. Mustard.
Ugh.
Fuck is mustard hummus.
Oh, God.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Goes great with celery. Goes great with
Mummus.
celery.
Yeah. It's what happens when someone's just too lazy to go to the grocery store.
Comes in a
Hummus and
squeeze
biscuits
tube.
are good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is actually some really cool foreshadowing here.
Oh yeah, we can get back to the movie. Sorry,
This is some really cool foreshadowing of what could they do if they were to work together
Mhm.
instead of
Yeah.
my song and your song.
Yeah, that's right. And this is him admitting that he's, a pig, like a hard-headed jerk,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can't take sharing the spotlight. So
Yeah,
and,
he's a bit on the egotistical side.
yeah, a
He's
lot.
He's
yeah.
a little emo, but in my experience, lead singers,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Accurate.
it
Yeah.
kind of fits.
I believe
Yep.
you're speaking to the talent.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding.
So
I,
they make up and they're gonna go make out.
when they're walking around, like spending time in ohmTown, I really enjoyed and in the other places too. But like there's such a variety of animation techniques, but
Mhm.
there's also
Yeah.
a variety of styles too, and and they pull it off. Like it's not thrown together, it's not mismashy, but like
Yeah.
you see a lot of different inspirations in it, and I do like that. Like you'll see some vehicles or some things that'll look like Mobius inspired, and some other stuff that's a little bit more like traditional, and just looks like they had a real interesting array of talent.
Mhm.
Speaking of talent, the Schlepper brothers are back.
Yes.
I love these guys. I think they're just some of the greatest character designs ever.
They are really fun.
They're
And,
roller skating Three Stooges that are like
Yeah.
a satanic rocker's henchman. I'm in. Funny.
One way only, and this ain't it. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I love that.
okay.
That
Let
looks
me just
amazing.
pause. Yeah, let me pause right
Yeah.
here because you guys are talking
That painting
about.
is awesome.
Yeah, you're talking about different techniques, and look at this. Like,
Yeah.
look at this painting. Like this is just.
And it's presented in a really long panning shot too. Like they do a lot of really good animation photographic work. Like
Yeah,
a lot, utilizing the camera in a lot of interesting ways.
I've got to assume that people who worked on this movie, the ones that continued to work in film after this disaster, worked on matte paintings and things of that nature.
Apparently
stuff
this
like
painting
background stuff
is
'cause
about
surely.
6 foot by 8 foot and took 3 or 4 weeks to paint.
Wow.
One artist. And I'm sorry the resolution isn't better, but my DVD is really old.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
It gets reused several times and you don't really notice that it's the same painting over and over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun.
And you can zoom into it, and like you
Yeah.
said, or as we could see it, you can move around in it. So this is ohmTown. This is where these kids live, where they've been like working the circuit, trying to be a bigger deal on the musical, what have you. and she's been approached by Mock, who's like, "Hey guys, come to my castle."
It's shaped like a gorilla head.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be like the Sphinx or something.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, I was like,
Ooh.
well, I just thought it was, kind of like it's kind of an interesting architectural statement, like it's not
It
flattering.
is a statement.
Yeah.
I thought it was mock.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
Mock.
Like it's an
exactly. Yeah.
artistic. Okay,
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's
And here
that
we
tracks.
are again. Those guys make the movie great. Like I do love everyone's character design, but those guys are so fun.
And just the idea of putting them on roller skates.
Yeah.
Right.
And that Mock is like super powerful, super rich, super influential. But these three are the ones that he's like, I leave it up to y'all.
That's his entourage right there.
Yeah.
These guys.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah.
I can see why he
Yeah.
wants a demon.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
I need a beverage.
Mm,
I went and got myself pink wine.
mm. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Pink wine.
Today I'm
I'm
drinking
saying.
some Oscar Blues. Just a quick side note. Austin used to have an Oscar Blues, but it didn't survive the pandemic.
Boo.
Yeah, so. But if anyone's interested, what is this called? I know we're on the air. Who cares? Hazy Blues, Juicy IPA. Pretty good.
Mine is some $2 Chuck thing from Trader Joe's that was not $2.
Yeah.
Those
From the
$2
same
case
place
are
I
gone.
got this. If I wanted red wine, I could have gotten Il Bastardo. It's about $9.
You fancy.
Well, I am drinking an Athletic Brewery's Irish Red.
Oh, very
Ooh.
nice. I'm real impressed with like where non-alcoholic beers have gone. Considering when I was a kid, they were like a punchline on talk shows.
O'Doul's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lovely O'Doul's.
I wanted to make sure
there he is.
I wanted to make sure I held up. Like once we got to Mock, I wanted to make sure we held on to Mock. And first thing I want to ask about Mock, what do you guys think? We have 3 options: dog, cat, and rat. Obviously he's had work.
About it.
He's had work, right? Like
Oh, he's definitely had work.
he may be decidedly less rat than when he was born.
I'm gonna say dog. Mostly dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
go-
think dog
I'm-
too because of the ear placement.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I'm
dog.
gonna go dog too.
Dog.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really not sure.
I'm so impressed with his wig collection. I really
Uh-huh.
never even thought about it.
I think I might say cat because of the ears. Like I'm not sure if they're from this shot anyway.
Yeah,
But
but his
yes.
personality is not very cat. Not really.
He's deceptive.
Well,
You know.
let's
His
count his nipples.
personality is rat.
Right. Yeah. Well,
But appearance wise, I would go more dog.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
a-
feel like his ears, the ear placement is very similar to Omar's.
This looks dog.
If I had a dog with a face like that, I'd shave his ass and teach him to walk backwards.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure Mick Jagger was still pissed off.
Oh, I'm
you
sure.
know.
If he ever saw this, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing too, is that it got buried. So for all we know, he forgot all about it. He's
Well,
like, I'll have my lawyer handle it, and then
Okay,
that's it.
here's your scenario. You're Mick Jagger's personal assistant, 1 of 10. Are you going to bring this up to your boss? I'm
Right,
not bringing
yeah.
it up to my boss.
No.
Moving on.
boo hoo. He's a freaking billionaire who lives on his own goddamn island. Fuck Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Well,
Indeed.
talking
They're
about
all jerks. Like, I actually read the entire Keith
they
Richards
are.
book, which is over 500 pages long. I read the whole thing, and I'm telling you, this guy is a fucking sociopath. Like no doubt about it. He is terrible. Never ever spend time around Keith Richards. Never.
Oh, good to know.
yeah, I'm gonna write
I'm
that
gonna,
down.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna write
change
that
my
down.
plans.
Note to self. One thing that I just, maybe it's too obvious, but the thing about anthropomorphizing
Uh-huh.
animals is that you get to cheat in the animation by using a 3-fingered hand, and it doesn't feel weird.
Right.
If you use a 3-fingered hand on a human, it
Yeah.
looks awful and creepy. But since
Yeah,
they're animalized, it's fine, and you never even really notice.
Ew.
it's true. Yeah. And believe me, animators love to take that extra finger off.
Yeah.
If it's one thing an animator hates, it's a pinky.
I cut mine off years ago.
I got some anime
Useless.
who's a jerk here somewhere.
Best thing I
about
ever did.
pinkies, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna let it go.
12-string
I read
guitar
somewhere,
laughs at me now, though.
I did read somewhere like if you cut off your pinky, you lose
True.
like 50% of functionality and strength in your hand.
What?
It's the fulcrum. Like, if you think about it, it's the right side, just like your pointer finger's the left side. So when you grip things, your pinky's doing a lot more than you think
Yeah.
in terms of
Well,
balance.
not if you're dainty.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
you-
of dainty, Cindy Schlepper is going to show up soon, and I'm a fan of Cindy Schlepper.
I love Mock. Mock's my
Yeah.
favorite character design. He's hilarious.
Yeah. He's too much.
He does have some, like, I think his teeth would suggest cat when we're looking at them like this.
I guess we shouldn't assume that the different animals can't mix in this scenario.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why
clearly
not?
they
Yeah.
do. Clearly they do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
So at this point in time, they're just meshing, like it's just dog cat mesh.
DNA everywhere.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
all over the place.
Dogs and cats
Exactly.
living together. Mass hysteria.
Yeah. It's like you went to a Peaches show. Just,
Wow.
we're gonna move on. Okay, so obviously conflict here. Like Mr. I'm too cool for school is taking his shit too far, and Mock's just like, well, you know what? I'm going to give you a drug ball, which was rad as shit.
I want a drug
Have you
ball.
ever just wanted a
Doesn't
drug
want a
ball?
drug
I want
Yeah.
a drug
Look at
ball real
this.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my
look at that. That looks
God.
awesome.
Edison balls.
You know what humans would do is that they would be like, well, I'm going to take acid and snort coke with the drug ball. Like people be having like drug ball heart attacks left and right because we just can't just enjoy the drug ball. We have to be like, oh no,
Gonna be that kind of party. I'm gonna stick my dick in the Edison ball.
That's right. So, eventually, somebody's shoving that thing up their ass, and here
No,
comes an ER visit.
X-rays getting leaked on the internet.
Well,
we got another drug ball.
I
And then
just,
how do they
fell
get
on
it
it.
out? Because every time you look at it, you get all loopy.
I know, like in the ER, there's like 5 doctors
like-
staring at this one guy's sphincter.
Now it's a party.
They're all laughing like we got it pulling out with our eyes closed, man. Awesome.
Just gonna feel around for it.
Okay, it's pretty big, so you should.
Help me
Drug
find
balls
my
are
Can you
pretty
give a
big.
little push?
Yeah.
So back at the narrative.
Yeah, we are like we do have a movie to discuss.
There's a weird little thing going on here too,
Uh-huh.
where some of Mock's magic is shown to be technology.
Yeah, he's a faker.
Mhm.
He's absolutely a faker.
So I mean, she's the key to the real magic where you summon a demon.
Well, also his motivation for wanting to summon a demon is that he really wants to experience and control some real power as opposed to doing illusions and tricks. And he's pressing buttons and flipping mirrors and stuff in the scene, trying to convince her he's some sort of messiah or whatever. But what he really wants is real heavy metal demon energy.
Yeah. Like he doesn't already have that.
I mean, he's got so much.
Yeah.
I wish he
One-
felt better about himself.
But his
One-
last concert wasn't a total sellout.
That's the thing. That's one line in the movie that like really stuck out to me. Is someone makes an aside that's like, I heard he didn't sell out his last concert. So
Yeah.
like that really just in just one little line truly explains why exactly this dude wants a demon.
Right
you know?
before this, in the living room scene or whatever it is, Omar has a line after Mock asks if they've heard his new album, and Omar says, "Yeah, my gerbil uses it for a room divider."
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
when Mock throws the drug ball at him, like, I'm done with you. I think you're funny.
I guess they,
That
I
is-
guess
That
I guess
does bring up, I think, an interesting like aspect of this movie, which I think is really great, and that is that you have like the mouse and cat people, but you also just have like regular mice and cats and
Yeah, there's
gerbils.
regular dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like we're also like just hanging out in alleys,
yeah.
doing what we've always done. I
Which
thought that was
seem-
great, a really like fun,
Yeah, I like
detail
that.
that they didn't necessarily have to do, but
Yeah. No, I like that, and it's like, oh, that seems unreasonable until you look at the way humans look at monkeys, and then like, oh no, yeah, we do the same thing.
Don't you kind of wonder though what that evolved gerbil would look like?
Yeah,
Howie Mandel.
like this guy. He'd look like this guy right here.
Yeah.
Like right,
Yeah.
because he's a rat, right?
He's clearly a rat.
Their bandmates are rats. It really
Hamster.
seems like the cats and dogs kind of more represent.
Which it would have been funnier if he'd been a rabbit.
Mhm.
Because
Well.
the drummer for Cheap Trick is Bun E. Carlos.
Oh wait, the chubby fellow with the glasses, I thought was kind of mole-like or gopherish.
I'll say
I don't know.
hamster.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought they told us it was just cats, dogs, and rats, though. Oh
Yeah,
man,
I
this
guess he's
stuff.
rat.
So here
You
we
wanna
have
talk- yeah, you
we have
wanna
our
talk
first
about-
our first Lou Reed song.
Oh yes. Tell
It's
us a little bit about it. Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
because we can't listen to it. So tell us a little bit about
We
Lou Reed's
cannot
first
listen to
song.
this.
Yeah.
It's a neat little Lou Reed song, kind of metal. Just basically Bach praising himself, which again is very metal. A lot of metal bands like to sing about either how cool heavy metal is or how cool their band is.
It's
Yes.
swagger, man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is called Power and Glory. The power and the glory in me. But the animation for it is so captivating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very
Yeah,
cool.
these are long extended exposures and backlighting and all old school techniques.
Yeah, and like they just so pick.
It's great with a drug ball too.
Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't
Well, that's the
want?
perfect thing to watch with the drug ball.
Yeah.
Jeremy, it kind of looks like us back.
Oh,
back
that's
in
just what I was
Columbus,
thinking.
Ohio.
Yeah, really takes us back.
Why? It's almost like that happened on a front porch somewhere.
I was at that party.
Yeah.
And so for everyone that hasn't seen this, what just happened outside, Mock offered Angel, the role as his singer and to take her away from everything. And she decided, no, I'm going to stick with my band.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really give a rat's
And-
ass about
No.
her, but
And so then he decided to go ahead and kidnap her.
Mhm.
yeah, he just wants to exploit her. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't care one bit.
But he
Well-
tried to get her to go along willingly.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think I honestly think that he because he's mock, that he just thought, oh well, I'm so great, she's just going to want to come with me no matter what.
Yeah, which
And
is
when
really a
she-
fair assumption, you know. I mean,
That's a
You
pretty
know,
Mick Jagger
huge.
thing to think.
yeah.
And when she turns him down, it's like, pfft, all right, well, plan B.
Yeah.
You're coming with me. Yeah, and the doofiness of these characters, I feel, does come through in these pictures, but they are like totally the comedy relief, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like any of the jokes that land are either at Mock's expense or at these guys' expense, you know.
Well,
Like,
without
that's
without
the
comic
stuff that's-
relief and without tone shift, this just becomes heavy metal. If it
Mhm,
takes itself
mhm.
too seriously the whole way through,
Yeah.
it's going to be an even tougher sell and less entertaining, I think. Not to shit on
Yeah.
heavy metal, because I'm not doing that, but
No.
it's
Yeah.
a lot more
No.
engaging when you have a range of personalities. It's not so serious.
And it's interesting that you rarely see the third brother, who is the one that's actually a badass.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my So that was my thinking. I was like, were there three?
There,
Yeah.
there
There's
Am I
are
three.
three.
imagining it?
One
There-
is
there
super
are three,
like
okay.
yeah, one is Mo, but you don't see Mo all that often. You're mostly dealing with like two curlies.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And then there's Cindy, who we haven't.
Because
And
right.
yeah, we
'cause I
haven't
was like,
gotten to Cindy yet. And
We
let me
had the
tell you,
two-
when
I-
Cindy
yeah.
shows up in the slideshow,
Oh,
it's
you're
so
gonna
great.
know it. You're gonna know
Yeah.
it.
Cindy's
Cindy was
awesome.
great. I
Yeah,
love
Cindy's
Cindy.
awesome.
Yeah, she is.
I want to go party with Cindy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't like nightclubs very much, but I'd go to a nightclub with Cindy.
Well,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
knows how to have a
I
good
hardly
time.
think you'd have the choice. Like,
Just kind of grab you by the collar and
yeah,
stuff you in her pocket.
if Cindy decides you're going to a nightclub, you're going to a nightclub, you know, like.
Like Cindy and Stefan would be best pals. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our boys get stuffed in the car, and they take the brake off
Hmm.
and send them rolling down the hill. Here's one of those real dogs we talked
Yeah,
about,
Tramp made a
Mhm.
cameo.
Mhm.
Hi,
Yeah.
Tramp.
looking for spaghetti.
He, by the way, resisted the drug ball. He sneaked off.
Yes, Dizzy,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah. Here's
Why resist?
hometown PD.
Officer Quadhole.
Yeah. Who, again, has a very distinct cartoonish like voice, you
Mhm.
know, like where it really seems like you've heard this guy in movies before.
How do we feel about the bag lady gag? 'Cause this
I
is-
thought this was great because it eliminated having to show the wreck,
yeah,
and they were able to do a much more slapstick wreck, and her losing a little bit of clothing at every.
a little bit. Yeah, it feels weird to me
Every
now. I know when
crash.
I was younger, I thought it was like out loud kind of funny, but
Mhm.
now I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe I kind of wanted to see that car wreck.
Right. Yeah. What happened there was that might have been a last minute budget thing, or you know, could have been an artistic choice too.
Yeah, don't know, but there's
Yeah.
plenty of comedy in this movie, so
Mhm.
we'll roll
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if I mentioned it already. I was kind of surprised to learn that they were already working on this when approached with heavy metal, because my impression of rock and roll is that they looked at heavy metal and thought, well, you can make money with that if you hit a broader audience.
But you were wrong.
But I was
Maybe
wrong.
not.
Yeah, that's how it feels, you know. But
Yeah.
You're right. I was dead wrong. I would have made a stupid, silly assumption.
It's very much to me like this is sort of the Blade Runner of animation to me. It never should have it never should have got made. It
Hey,
makes no sense that it was ever finished, that it that ever saw the light of day, and it
Yeah.
basically didn't. It took decades to build up its audience.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the book "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" That is one of the few books I've read over and over again, and
But not
like
the movie.
there's-
It's not the movie at all.
So yeah, it's so strange. It's so strange that, and you could make that movie, but you'd have a hell of a time marketing it.
Yeah, no. Maybe now you could. But
maybe
people are versed enough in those sort of concepts now.
Yeah.
30 years later or whatever.
Like Dune makes me wonder, A24 makes me wonder. Perhaps you could make a faithful Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. But I still feel like it'd probably have to be animated.
I'd like to volunteer to play Buster Friendly.
Sometimes I feel like I already am.
I look great in a tux.
Sometimes I feel like I'm crawling up that mountain, though. I'll tell you what. I'm like, that's a compelling religion right there. We're all crawling up the mountain, and you know what's happening? Rocks are getting chucked at us. God damn, I love the diversions we do on this show. Are we watching a movie?
Some of us are.
For the record, I wanted to talk about something that was on the screen a few minutes ago, but no to talk about adapting Blade Runner.
No, I'm pausing it. Tell us, Jerry. Tell us. Come on.
No, it's too late. It's irrelevant now.
We need that gravy.
Get him some mummus.
Some mummus.
No, I love Officer. God, what's this? The Quad
Hole.
Quad Hole.
Quad Hole, but they call him Quaalude.
I swear to God, they had Mobius like sneak into the production of this movie and draw that guy's car. I'm not shitting you, man. Like with the door open and all the detail in his dash and stuff like that. Like that's so Mobius all over. I like.
Yeah, you can see the influence.
Well, yeah, you've got to think that these are animators, so they're into that.
Yeah.
If you were any sort of illustration artist in the 70s or 80s, you were influenced by Mobius.
If they just wanted to throw it in.
There was a pitchweed.
Yeah, I don't right that too. I don't know if we'll get the good shot that we had that I think you probably saw where you were like, oh yeah, that car. But you're right, like just the detail around the lights,
the cross hatching on it.
Yeah, just those little hatches right there along the edges. Like that's so Mobius. Yeah. You wrote the book on that, buddy.
What a contrast with that butt. Ooh, Claude Akins.
Cartoons.
I bet he can deadlift 800 pounds for that.
He does every day. He's doing it right now.
He's doing it right now.
Something ripped.
It's just the drug ball.
Boys, you'll have to excuse me. I felt the bag rip. I'm not going to be able to further investigate these crimes you're committing. I am in a medical emergency.
So they legit steal a cop car.
Yeah, they steal a cop car
to head to New York.
Yeah, which kind of suggests that ohmTown is a disaster, right?
Yeah, it's like the Pittsburgh of the apocalypse or whatever. It's a terrible place. Doesn't matter how many coffee shops you open up, it's still a shithole.
Yeah.
The law is merely a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pulling a Cannonball Run, where they're flying across in a fake cop car.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a good looking car. So actual models were built of the cars, and
oh really?
Not straight rotoscoped, but used for reference. And they would, take 16mm films of them pushing the cars around through landscapes and stuff. And
it's funny. Rotoscope was one of the things I was looking for in this movie, and I don't remember seeing much of it at all.
I haven't spotted any real straight rotoscoping at all.
Real straight rotoscope, yeah.
No tracing.
Which I feel like was on purpose.
Yeah.
One of the things I read, somebody had asked them about Bakshi, and they essentially said, what he was doing at the time, I think we definitely looked at and said we could do better than that.
Yeah.
Kind of a diss.
Well,
But
I get it from both sides of the story because I actually am a huge fan of rotoscoping. I think
Yeah,
like,
I
there's
love
a very
rotoscoping.
magical quality to it. Sometimes it is a cheat, but sometimes you can actually breathe more into it with an artist's hand than
Yeah.
you could just by filming someone on screen. It could be more expressive and it has this sort of hypnotic look to it. But there's no doubt that it's been used badly in the past. I
oh,
respect
absolutely.
both. I think the choice not to straight rotoscope is a fair choice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I definitely prefer it for this.
Hmm.
I'm kind of not surprised that it's a little bit of a statement that they didn't use it,
Well,
or that they
Bakshi
didn't
was
use it, or that they didn't use it. Obviously, like a stylistic decision. You will not spot the rotoscope. This camera will not twirl around our character in
well,
the way that
if you're thinking about rotoscoping, you've lost the illusion already. And I don't mind that, from a technical standpoint as an artist. That doesn't bother me. But, for regular folks, once they notice that this is traced over an actor, it breaks your immersion. So I get it. Also, Bakshi was not a very well liked man.
Yeah,
He pissed off a lot of people and ripped off a lot of people's property. So
it's amazing he had the career that he had.
Yes,
given his personality.
Yeah,
and that he stayed like that. Cool world is a thing,
right?
Like really, like, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Hey, that was I think on the list for this show.
Cool World was?
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting. I only saw it once.
I've only seen it once, and I don't remember a thing about it. Yeah.
All I really remember about it is I was like, that was not a good movie. Like I did not think it was good at all.
No, I didn't like it either.
Hey, it's Cindy.
Okay.
Hey! Man.
What is this coming down the chimney?
Guys, if this show ever makes us rich, we all got to go get that tattooed on our ass.
I'll do it for you.
I will do it.
I do still have room on my butt.
But I will charge you $14.95 for it.
So here she is. She is the fourth sibling. Were these guys cloned, or what is the story with these guys? They're just like,
to me, it's like a litter of dogs. Like,
oh, gotcha. Yeah,
they're all pretty similar. They're all very top heavy. You could see
she is by far the most fun of a lot of them, and probably the smartest one too.
That's why they lock her away. They're just like,
Yeah, and by dog, I think bulldog specifically.
And the way that she's animated, obviously you can't see it in motion here, but they took this 400-pound gal and they animated her dainty like the hippos in Fantasia, and it's
I
really,
love it.
It's
I'm
nice.
here for it.
It's nice on the eyes just to see her skating around.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
That's great.
I mean,
she's
like,
far and away my favorite.
It's like they had Roger Crumb sneak in and be like, "Well, I'm going to put my dream girl in here,
mommy.
That's what I'm going to do to your Canadian animated film." That somehow, I mean, I guess that explains why there's so little crossover with this and heavy metal. You would think, like Canada, how many animators do they have? Well,
like 5.
I guess the answer is a lot, since they can make 2 movies like this simultaneously. I get, like I would love to. I haven't seen heavy metal in a while. I'd love to do heavy metal as well, but when I was looking it up and trying to find cross staff, I was reminded of how schizophrenic heavy metal is. It has it has 9 directors, and it's all supposed to take place in the same universe kind of situation where this green ball is like drifting through the stories and
the Lochnar.
It is. Yeah, it is like it really is a mess.
Stories. Yeah,
I know we haven't voted yet on this movie that we've been going on for an hour about how great it is. But I'm just going to tell you that I think Rock and Roll is a better movie than Heavy Metal. And I don't dislike Heavy Metal. But
look
you
at
want to
these
talk
slides.
about like,
I
yeah,
love
you
heavy
want,
metal.
yeah, but you want to talk about like cohesion, character development, like
feel like
interest in the story.
The concept behind the Heavy Metal movie was to present a copy of Heavy
Right,
Metal, the
right.
magazine with
Yeah.
And they did.
several
Yeah, they
stories in
did.
it.
Yeah.
And it works and it doesn't work. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
It's not for everybody. You know, I mean,
yeah. Well,
Whereas
likes
this
that.
is absolutely for everybody.
this is
This is Ning the Merciless without a cool headdress.
I know.
Jay. It's
This
Jay.
is
Jake
this is when
Goodwin.
this is when Ming gets out of the shower.
Jake Goodwin when he
I
pops his
mean,
sensors in.
I just- I
looks
love-
like he's yeah. It looks like
I
he's
loved
doing
it.
something.
He has a special outfit for his computer time.
Yeah, it's moisture resistant because the computer's made out of brains and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good look.
he's jiggling.
The little armor all on that. Shine it up.
I don't know why Mick Jagger wouldn't want this. He's so like he is wildly, yeah, he's wildly dramatic, you know, like there's like Elton John in his movements, you know, like they're like the Mick Jagger may have the face and David Bowie may be the outfits, but there is more to his movement than those two, you know, like
It's
there's
so nicely animated. It's just he's
Yeah.
so over the top, mustache twirling,
yeah.
scenery chewing, drama queen. It's awesome.
Man, that stuff's so hard to do. I mean, like
it is.
the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, I can easily believe they went way over schedule, way over budget.
yeah.
Mhm.
On
Here's
this
more
movie.
great
Like,
computer
'cause-
stuff.
Yeah, they're just like they worked their freaking asses off making this movie, man.
Yeah,
This
and
is
as
all-
with a lot of animated films, each character is mainly animated by a specific artist that focuses on them. So they get to start putting little bits of their personality and ideas into it along the way, and it gives each character a different flavor. And I think it works really well in this. You know, Mock moves differently than Omar. You know,
Yeah.
and you could tell that there's an individual artist behind them.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Look at
There
Yeah,
it comes.
just as a single drawing, like I mean, that's
Mhm.
complex, you know, like they're doing things with perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a lot of movement stuff. It's
Yeah,
jeez, it's really
gives it
hard
real
to do.
weight and real
Yeah.
emotion. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's like in this day and age, like for the kids out there, back in this generation, you had to draw 24 drawings for 1 second. That's
Mhm.
24 drawings for 1 second of movie. So this guy, somebody had to draw and paint this guy 24 times for every second, you know, that he's in this scene. And that is an enormous amount of work.
Yeah. Well, and I think animation on the whole, that's got to be an art form that you truly love, that you truly want to be a part
Yeah.
of, because it is such an exhaustive process.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's, you know, I watched, you know, if you watch the documentary about the making of Akira, it's like that's the animation feat that never quite got replicated because it was crazy to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about people like crammed into into an office building, shoulder to shoulder,
Mhm.
working 12, 14 hours a day for 5 years, roughly
Yeah.
3-5
Yeah.
years, something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is insane. It's
And that
absolutely
I
crazy.
mean that's why you rotoscope. You know, like people love to make fun of Hanna-Barbera, and let me tell you, it's easy. But there's a freaking reason, you know? Like there's a reason Hanna-Barbera looks and acts the way it does, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that you see in a film like this, that it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that every moment is movement. You know, that, like you said, is so much work.
Yeah.
They were very careful about the shortcuts that they took, like the car on the, driving through the street. That's fine. I can buy that. It's just movement through space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, them wasting $100,000 on that. The taillights are moving down the street. I get it. But when you have a close up of somebody just chewing up the scenery, emoting, that's where I want to see all the hard work.
It's more beautiful matte painting here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So this is New York.
Nuke York.
Duke York.
New York.
New York.
I guess we're considering it ground zero for whatever it is that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty safe that it was a nuclear war. Pretty safe
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
And here's Atomizer. His hover chair,
Yeah.
age 99.
Putting a tattoo on someone's head
Yeah, of a mermaid.
of a mermaid.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Schlepper brothers' aunt.
No, this is Dizzy's aunt.
Oh, that's right. This is
Dizzy's aunt. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
the
cool
drummer's
aunt. He has
Yeah.
a cool aunt that can come in and help out.
And you get like a really great sort of sitcom scenario vibe out of this right away. Dizzy doesn't really want to be here asking her for help. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason they weren't hanging out before. But she's the only one he knows in New York. Homeboy's doing his James Dean thing,
Yeah.
staring out the window, pretending he doesn't want to rescue Angel. And Catherine O'Hara is just
Oh, there it is. There's the
There's
tattoo.
the
What an
tattoo.
odd choice. Just a single mermaid on the back of my head.
well. And at this point in your life, what is he, 50? Like that's
Yeah.
that's a great thing that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not against it.
He's only got minutes to live, so he might as well. Yeah, Catherine O'Hara, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Another great character design in this movie too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara, and she's barely in the movie.
I love the chair. I really do. Like with the
Mhm.
lever on it to go up and down and float around as a tattoo artist. I think that's fucking great.
I'd probably like one of those. I remember
Ooh.
Pig gator.
that's great. I
What
know.
is
I'm
that?
like, I'm telling you, man, DNA's getting muddier and muddier.
Dizzy's uncle down in the gutter.
Yeah. Not to derail too much from the movie, but I did want to say, like, when I first saw Starship Troopers, I was like, now why are tattoo artists one of the jobs getting replaced by robots? Like, you see human beings doing things all over the place, but all of a sudden you go to a tattoo parlor and it's a robot that does it. And then I was like, well, actually, like, they're just getting like Flash. So probably a tattoo artist owns the shop and the robot.
Yeah,
Anyway,
That's right.
that's not a bad thought, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember around 2000 when they started actually showing videos of tattooing robots and whatever. I mean, I could poke holes in it all day long, no pun intended. But it kind of makes sense. Like for me, as like a cranky old shopkeeper, like I don't care about your OSU logo. I really don't fucking care. It's just $50 to me. So let the machine do it. Fine.
Yeah.
whatever.
Hell yeah.
yeah. Right.
Yeah. You've got the Blocko bot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Blocko bot, the Michigan M bot.
Oh, he's a sailor.
Yeah, he's got a peg leg. That's his leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
damn.
why he got the mermaid.
And
He
he's
He's
throws
Bender,
he
dude.
throws the leg around.
yeah.
I didn't catch that last time.
There's a lot of great little details in this.
And once again, mock rocking a call. Like, man, I want one of those shirts. You know,
Yeah,
I know
that's
it's like the
freaking
puffy
great.
shirt from Seinfeld, but I still think,
It's a statement.
yeah.
Cindy just wants to party.
can
Angel and
respect
Cindy
that.
are on their way to the dance club.
Yep. There's going to be an altercation here in the foyer with some muties. Somehow there's a class difference between the animal hybrids and straight up mutants. The
You
doorman,
think you're better than me?
the doorman gives two of them the business and boots them out.
Right, yeah, the old school. Like, you know, back in the day, I was mutated by radiation. You were just like born, you know, a dog that talks and roller
Pure
skates
bloods.
and gets tattoos.
And it's Earth, Wind, and Fire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is a song Earth, Wind, and Fire did just for this movie.
I believe it's original, but I can't. I can't.
Yeah, there's two songs happening in the dance club. There's the Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then there's Hot Dogs and Sushi.
Yeah.
By Melanie Brown.
Ooh.
Who also does the voice of the girl selling T-shirts, the one on the news broadcast, I believe.
This is such a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's well. Oh, sorry about the blank frame, but there's strobe lights in the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a Playboy
There's
bunny.
so much,
Yeah, I know,
there's
there's
so much
yeah.
detail going on in this.
And it's very disorienting. It's not just that
Yeah.
it's an anti-gravity bar, but
You feel like you're in a nightclub, man.
you're lost in a shitty nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucked up. Everyone's, you know, showing their stuff and dancing. And I don't want to be there, but they got to find a clue.
We lost our host.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Bye, Jeff.
bye.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get that beer.
Oh, I love that. So great.
And they've been looking for the
Look at
heart
his
tattoo.
face, yeah.
This movie's awesome.
That's good stuff.
And I can't. It is so great that somehow, some way, this movie got saved. Because when I was reading about it, and I'm just saying, like, I did read it on a Wikipedia page. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm not advertising. I'm just saying, like, questionable accuracy. But apparently, like, the original print for this was like burned in a fire or something, or one of the original prints.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Canadian one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's what happened to the Canadian version. The negative got burned?
Yep.
Look at the Jolly Roger Swizzler. That's nice.
Damn, that's just crazy, man. Guys like doing the stuff. There's bright lights everywhere.
Yeah, everything's in motion. Everything's disorienting. The music is loud. It's really good. Cindy's just doing her thing. Got a guy in a trench coat who's interested. That's cool.
I love that. I love this scene. There's so much going on. You could look at it forever and still notice new things.
He really wants out of that nightclub.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him, but I mean,
know.
I've been in that nightclub.
we've all been in that.
I don't want to go back.
Look at that guy. Woo.
There's a lot of penis noses in this. I've just realized.
Not more than your average Owen Wilson movie.
Oh wow!
Totally not my scene.
Me
Okay,
neither.
so they leave the nightclub and it's foggy and even more disorienting outside. Nobody can find each other. But Omar hears Angel's voice from somewhere.
I do like Omar's mullet. I love how he's like, you know, he's rocking the total unapologetic mullet. It's really awesome. If I had straight hair, I would wear a mullet.
Man, there's a kid at my school that has like it's Mo in front and Billy Ray Cyrus in the back.
Oof.
It is so woof. Yeah.
When I was,
I used to have an epic mullet.
oh man,
I had a big
Wizard. We need to see a picture of Wizard.
That was back before cameras were everywhere.
rat.
It was an undocumented mullet.
We had cameras. Stop it.
They weren't everywhere though.
They weren't everywhere. They weren't in your pocket
Yeah.
waiting to.
They were easily avoided.
God.
There's too much evidence of my high school hair choices. Way too much. My mother has it on a wall.
Oh no, this was in my 30s. I had an epic mullet in my 30s.
Awesome.
So yeah, here Bach has gotten a mutant who is very adept at disguise to pretend to be
What's her
Angel.
face?
What's her face?
Yeah. And she's.
And makes Omar think that Angel has chosen to be with Mog.
I love her character design. There's not a clear slide of her under the mask, but I think she looks great. Very cool. Very scary.
Ooh, yeah, I like that
That's
shot right
great.
there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Very
Nasty.
60s, 70s spy film where you could just wear someone's face.
And Mock almost has a beak. His lips are almost like a beak. It's crazy.
Duck lips.
Yeah.
The original duck face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My lips are sharper than any knife you've ever had.
There's a lot of emphasis on the mouths and the lips of the characters. It's very much a repeating theme. There's a couple of shots where it seems like very blatantly right off of the Rocky Horror poster set of lips, especially in one of the music videos. But they're drawn like geometrically and just very violently. Like they're just very intense for Mock.
Yeah, and I really like how, you know, his shoulders and hands are always doing something interesting. Like, you know, he's always like, oh, he's always super dramatic.
That's just fantastic animation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, like a lot of times, like when we talk about these movies, like, you know, I'll say whether or not I like recommend it to my kids or whatever. Ironically enough, my son Laszlo knew about this film before I did.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
like he'd already he yeah. I was watching it with you guys last week.
What?
And
Tell
and
us
he
the age again. Like what age?
17 or
Okay.
just turned 18. Just turned 18.
Wow, good job, Dad.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, we were watching it last week, and Laszlo came up and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know this. Like, yeah, the guy with the crazy lips, and yeah, it's just really cool." And I was like,
Wow.
I've never even heard of this movie before until Mick brought it up. It's awesome. So yeah, like, you know, it's. I hope maybe there's some consolation for the people who made this movie, that, you know, that there is decades later, you know, people see it, appreciate it. You know, definitely getting buried by a bunch of studio fuckwads. That's just,
Yeah.
I love here where Mock's magic has made the band into basically folk musicians.
Yeah, he fried the brain.
Yeah.
And I love that song, Om Sweet Om Town.
Yeah, which is
I love that movie poster.
It's
Yeah.
a play on the first track, the Cheap Trick song.
Right.
I hate this town. They invert it, and it's Town is my kind of town, and it just turns
Oh
into
yeah.
hippie music. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Which on the Canadian release, that song plays over the credits
Oh, really?
in between the ending song and the Earth, Wind and Fire. They insert the ohmTown song. but they left it out of the American version.
Because that's just too funny for Americans. You can't have
Americans
any.
This is really cool. There's a news broadcast that is informing the public that Mock's show in is it Nuke York?
Nuke York,
New
yes.
York, yes.
Went disastrous.
Took down the power grid.
He needs more power.
He needs more power. He can't summon the demon with just Nuke York stadium power.
Yeah. You got to go back to ohmTown where the power plant is. Yeah. I mean, what an easy.
Nice symbolism.
Yeah. Perfect metaphor. Like, I need more power. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And a very Blade Runner blimp flying back.
Yeah.
Just an airbrush drawing being moved across the background. It's fine.
What year was Blade Runner? I mean,
81.
Okay.
81, 82.
Well, again, these guys are
Yeah.
making this movie at the same time. You know, it's like synergy.
There's a couple nods in this, but there's nothing blatantly ripped off. I don't think the blimp was like intentionally a Blade Runner reference, but
This was the scene that originally got me in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
like I loved everything
This
else,
is awesome.
but
this
but
swagger.
seeing this is
Yeah.
Great
Wow.
song by Lou Reed too. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Lou Reed singing a song about Mock. This is Mock singing about himself. This
Yeah.
is
my
his
name
big,
is Bach. Thanks a lot.
and this is a big hit for him. You know, like, right? This is the opening of his, or I don't know. No, that's right. The concert's over. This is just
This is
Mock
just
celebrating
This is
himself.
his
him.
video. Yeah.
Him zoning out. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like getting all high and thinking about himself.
And again, this is released in 83, so MTV happened while they were already making this movie. So the idea of music videos
Yeah.
was completely new.
Yeah.
Also,
I remember MTV.
I remember when it was only 8 hours a day. The story is that Lou Reed agreed to record the song, and the director asked if he could come down to the session, and Lou Reed said, "Oh yeah, you're absolutely welcome to come down to the recording studio if you want to be sent home in pieces in a box." He did not want anyone leaning over his shoulder, and he banged out a fucking
Love
great
it.
track.
Yeah.
He delivered it.
Yeah.
That is rock and roll, man. That's rock
Yeah.
and roll shit.
Yeah. That's about as Lou Reed as it gets.
Yeah. Love Lou Reed. He was so
I
cool.
do too.
He's the biggest thing since World War III.
I love the backup singers, the way they bounce. That's
Mhm.
so good. Really simple animation with a lot of gesture in it.
They're poodles.
Is that
Yeah.
what happens when you smoke crack? Do you just go off on like some sort of like ego like
And oh my
fantasy?
God, this is so beautiful. The Uncle Mikey stuff.
It's Uncle Mikey
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so this is pre Raymond Pettibone and the
What
whole.
the hell is going on here?
This
Yeah.
is pre Itchy and Scratchy. This is
Yeah.
pre like the crude rough animation parody. They
This
did it
is their-
first. In this.
Yeah. This is their version. This is their vision of what television is like.
Mhm.
Post, like for
Kids television.
Yeah.
Yes, kids television. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they thought about this. This is before Pee Wee Herman's, before all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's basically a mutant chasing a cow with an axe. And it's pretty great.
Sometimes he's nice.
Is this man being good or evil?
It's really funny because I remember watching the movie last week. By the time you get here, you've been pretty well acclimated to all this crazy shit. So that by the time you get to this, you don't realize just how fucking
How crazy
weird.
it is.
Yeah.
And we take it for granted now, like because we've seen Itchy and Scratchy and all that other shit. But this was
yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Wait.
Damn, Mock.
Yeah.
Looking rough.
He sucks down a joint in like one toke.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where our Curly of the the trio
Uh-huh.
finally starts to figure out that Bach might be evil.
Well, he
Yeah.
begins to question the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just innocent and wonderful.
And he has a song.
It's going to, unfortunately, it's going to pay off badly later in the film. He's got the Uncle Mikey doll and the hat and the roller skates.
There's Uncle Mikey saying goodnight with the cow and the man with the axe.
Goodbye and be good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Mock chucks the doll.
Yeah.
There is no good at evil.
Evil spelled backwards is live.
Live. And we all want to live.
Don't we?
It's also vile.
That's a nice.
That's an anagram, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Our
yeah.
judges will accept that. A really nicely conceived scene, actually, like something that could be out of a live action movie. She's playing the melody of her song on the piano, sadly, and Mock is monologuing out the window, thinking of nothing but himself and what he's going to accomplish.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
here we have that beautiful painting again.
There's that painting again with actual like cotton balls and shit on it for clouds.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, they used polyfill, like the stuff you put in aquarium filters, and just spread it out over the glass.
Clever.
So she tries to play him a little bit, and he sucks it up for a minute, but he's too smart.
Nice. How often did that actually happen to Mick Jagger? Oh no!
Oh no.
Like a little wart on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Detail.
No, they
Crappy.
definitely make him like, old and frail in moments all the time. Like it goes back and forth from like, the prepped, the prepped and beautiful looking Mock, and then like the
real Mock.
You see
real
it in
Mock.
you see it in the animation about
Mhm.
the duality of it, because there's some scenes where his face is completely made up and everything, but his hands are gray. They look like death.
Yeah, he's a junkie. He's
Yeah.
strung out. He's emaciated. He's old.
And he's decided that, rather than retire gracefully, he'd like to summon a demon.
I'd kind of like a demon.
Yeah.
Here we go. A concert
Omar
for
and the
average guy.
daycares.
Omar and the daycares. What is this?
My kind of town.
What is this saying about how Mock views, music fans?
Folk music.
Like, yeah.
Oh, they're
It's really,
trash to him.
yeah.
He needs an inordinate amount of like attention for his ego, but the fans aren't doing it for him anymore, and his sales are slipping. It's anyone in his radius needs to placate him. Mylar's pissed off that Angel's not with the band.
There's no Angel. That's the only reason why I booked them.
Yeah, he doesn't
He
care
wanted
that
that.
the
He
music
wanted that
sucks.
Debbie Harry song that's so catchy.
What's the Spinal Tap song where they go hippie for a minute? Like I think it's early on in.
Oh yeah, their early career. Give me some money.
Yeah, give me some.
Or you talking about the Flower Children?
The flower people.
Flower children.
Flower people.
Oh yes.
Listen.
Yeah.
To what the flower people say.
Yeah, it's very much that.
Can you believe there's a sequel being made?
I'm
Yes.
so disheartened by it.
Nobody wants that.
I know. Well, I can tell you a few folks who wanted it.
Bob Iger.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
now we have
Mary
sleevage.
sure has
Like
enough
there's
money.
a lot of like there is a lot of like not meant for kids stuff in this movie.
welcome to the side boob that launched
Yes.
1,000 gym socks, folks. This was a very powerful moment in my upbringing. By television. I remember drawing this in my sketchbook when I was, I don't know, 13 or whatever. Because it was so powerful and so hot and
Yeah.
weird. And you just wanted the wind to blow a little bit harder to get her little floss out of the way.
No, it's taped on.
She looks great though. She really does.
Yeah, she looks powerful. Like even though she's, chained up.
Yeah.
When she's
She has that.
singing, the low angle and just the
Mhm.
perspective and stuff, it makes her.
She has a goddess quality to her.
Yes,
That's why.
absolutely.
Well, her voice can summon
Well,
demons.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's funny that this is post-apocalyptic, but then he has like how do they figure out this like demon summoning thing? Like
Computers.
What does that have to do with the apocalypse?
Computers.
Hmm.
You got a big computer covered in cow brains. I mean,
Yeah.
you could figure this stuff out, no problem.
So the band is back to normal after the power surge.
Oh, okay, great. They're all happy again, or unhappy.
No, unhappy.
They're all unhappy again.
We're happy that we're unhappy. They got shocked. And it's quad hole again. And he's going to get his car stolen again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're down to business. We got plenty of power. We got the girl.
Yeah, this
concert.
is it. And the animation, the animation that involves this demon is so incredible. Like this is a movie that already gave you a lot of like wow. And then they're gonna like summon this demon, and that's just gonna take it like even farther over the top. Anyone watch Solid Gold when they were a kid?
Oh,
Heck
yeah.
Kiki D.
And the Solid Gold Dancers.
That's right. First time I heard Quiet Riot was on Solid Gold.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And we bought the cassette tape after that. We went out and we got that cassette. Well, my mom did. I was too young. I was too young to just go out and get that cassette. Mom,
I'd let you copy mine, Jeff. It's all right.
Oh, there it is again.
Oh,
Good. Man, they really...
Yeah, they really did.
There was something about that assignment, like something happened with those animators where they're like, they just wanted to see how far they could take it. I guess it's pretty, typical.
Mick, do you remember what the rating was for this when it was released?
I do not.
It's PG, right? Isn't it PG?
How could it be?
Well,
I mean,
there's really nothing in it.
There's no nudity.
Yeah.
I guess not. There's no
no
sex,
violence.
There's no swearing.
Yeah.
There's no violence. So, like no blood.
I mean, there's drug use, but I don't know how much they quantified that as
actual drug use.
Yeah.
Like just seemed to be like a villain's. Oh, there he is. Look at this guy.
Hey, buddy.
Holy moly! And what are you gonna do with him? He's gonna do Mock's bidding.
I'm gonna control him from my pipe organ. Yes. He'll do whatever I say.
Uh-huh.
That's a great idea.
Thought, sunshine.
He's getting Devo all of a sudden.
Bad dog. Bad dog. So the texture on the demon and in the tunnel that you see when all the stuff is sort of squishing around and whatever, they actually did cover an animation table with cow's brains. And
Ew.
Oh, really?
yeah, they moved it around by putting like pieces of cardboard under it and shot it frame by frame.
Oh,
And then
wow.
every 10 minutes they had to replace the cow brains because they'd be cooking under the lights.
Oh,
Ugh.
And
That's
then that's all
gross.
multiple exposed into the shapes of the demons in the drawings.
oh, it's disgusting.
Ugh, that's
It
gross.
really is. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it.
It's
No way.
disgusting.
There's the Uncle Mikey skate. Oh, it stopped spinning. Oh, zip.
My brother's dead.
Here
Yeah.
comes vengeance.
Yeah, they never liked him anyway, you know? Like, that's a pretty typical thing.
He wasn't very nice to them.
No, I think they've had enough of his BS. She thinks Omar's dead. Basically.
And this is the most badass thing she does. That
Yeah.
whole line of, if I can sing it up, I can sing it down.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And she literally tears off her shackles and busts out her voice.
And
Which is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is where Debbie Harry's voice is on a Cheap Trick song, you know?
Yeah.
And you were saying that Lou Reed is also on this song?
There are okay, so this is a very long epic reprise. You know, this is the peak of the story. There are elements of all of the main songs woven into the reprise. So what you essentially have is all of these artists performing together. Robin Zander and Rick Nielsen and Debbie Harry are doing the main parts. But all of it is woven back in, like in high Broadway fashion. Like it is very sophisticated the way that they do it. Everything's a callback. Everything adds up, to something greater than the sum of its parts. And this song is amazing. It's uplifting in a weird way that I don't, generally like to be stimulated emotionally, but it's great.
Well, there's those pig brains or cow brains.
There's real brains.
Oh,
gross! I could have lived my entire life.
Yeah,
that
that is crazy. Gosh.
Yep.
Unreal. So they did that with real flesh. That's
real guts and awful, yeah.
And there's so much of one style of animation, not just side by side, but overlapping.
It's very layered. Yeah.
Man, amazing perspective in that drawing. It's just it's great.
I can't draw that kind of perspective to this day. I've never been good at perspective in anatomy. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, Mock's great. All of Mock's movements are great.
Yep. Here comes justice.
And Mock dies.
Mock go down
So
the
long,
hole.
Mock.
Down the hole.
Follow his demon home.
Yeah.
And so for those of you that haven't seen it, Mock was told that the demon could be banished by one voice, one heart, one song.
Correct. Yeah.
But that there was no one.
There was no one.
It's
who
not
could
just
sing
one
it.
individual.
Right.
Yeah.
It very much reminds me in hindsight of the Lord of the Rings, where it's I am no man.
Yeah.
That line. No man can defeat me. Obviously, this predates that by decades, but
But yes, it took the two of them coming together.
harmony.
This is a lot like the ending of Kroll, where it takes the love of the two people to make
Is
the
that
fire.
how Kroll
burn.
ends? I
That's
don't
how
know.
Kroll
Yeah,
ends.
that's how Kroll ends.
Yeah, man.
I haven't seen Kroll since I was a kid.
Fire mares can travel 1,000 leagues in a day.
God, I love that movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's the first Liam Neeson movie.
That's his
Oh
first.
shit!
First
Really?
movie?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
His first movie.
Yep.
they resisted that beautiful face even through an entire film. You would think the moment anyone saw that, they were like, let me get a camera. And instead they
and for everybody who is sad about Zip dying,
mm-hmm.
in the original Canadian version, there's 2 scenes that got cut out right at the end. There's a little extra bit by Mylar saying that Mock is really just somewhere backstage.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But more importantly, you see Zip wake up.
Oh.
I feel like that needed to happen though for Gravity. I feel like it kind of did. It feels like that emotional beat really matters. If you take that away afterwards, I don't know.
I mean, I do kind of agree that, like, probably from the viewpoint of, the Stooges, like there was never really any peril for them, So for that to then happen, they're more than just like being berated or punished all of a sudden.
It is kind of a it's kind of a cop out. It's a feel good cop out.
Yeah, I'm not against character not dying, but yeah.
It's a strange story and it's a strange movie across the board. It's a really weird thing. Like if I was in charge of this project, I would be fraught with anxiety trying to figure out exactly what the tone should be and how far to push it.
Yeah.
Especially back in the 80s.
Okay, so I said there would be a quiz.
All right. I'm ready.
So for me, what this movie, one thing that it kicked off was a love. Because I had this love of music, and music has always been a very emotional thing. It's my whole life revolves around music, and the idea that music and in fact this one song could save the world, which is really what the movie is about for me. It's something I've looked for ever since, and I can really only find off the top of my head 2 other movies where it's very, very clear that a song has saved the world. One of which is my favorite movie of all time, Fish Story.
See, I do.
And the other one is Invaders from Mars.
Wow, those are 2
Toby Hoopers or
Yes.
the original? Oh,
because the Slim Whitman.
Oh, Mars
song.
Attacks.
Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks. I'm sorry, Mars Attacks.
Yeah,
Yes, Mars
okay.
Attacks.
The Slim Whitman
The
song
Slim Whitman song saves the world.
that
Yes,
saves the
yeah.
world.
Okay.
Can you think of any others?
This sounds like a question for Barbara. She
Don't
loves the
know.
musicals.
I do love musicals, but I mean, off the top of my head, I honestly can't think of one where the song is just literally going to save the world.
It doesn't even have
Bill
to be a
and
musical.
Ted doesn't even get to that.
Fish Story is not a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just that one song in it.
But definitely that one song saves the world.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm stumped.
I get stuck with things like with these kind of questions. Like there's so many
music
thoughts that go through
saves
your
a lot.
head.
Yeah, music saves a lot of things in films. Like in Xanadu, it saves a club. In Breaking 2, it saves an orphanage.
Footloose is all I got. I don't even remember.
In Footloose, it saves. What does it save? It saves people's individuality.
A bunch of horny teenagers in a podunk town. Yeah,
it saves them from the oppression of the church.
Yeah.
Hey! Save that for John Mellencamp, okay? 40 teenagers in a podunk town.
Oh gosh.
Want to be saved by a rock and roll song that I wrote.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of movies that have that sort of let's fix up the community center montage with a killer song, but it doesn't equate to saving the world with that song
Yeah.
specifically.
Right. Then the song isn't what brings the power.
Right.
Right.
That's a hell of a question, Mick.
What about Bill and Ted? Like,
Bill
See,
and
Bill
what about
Ted!
Bill and Ted? Yeah,
and Ted don't actually write the
It
song.
never happens though. Yeah, in the trilogy, it still has never happened.
Yeah.
oh,
That's the weird thing is like Bill and Ted is kind of
Bill-
like Terminator 2 Terminator, you know, where like the reality is like constantly affecting
Changing.
itself, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like
It's
changing.
Terminator.
The
Yeah,
music is going to save the world, but I never see it happen.
yeah, exactly. There was a reality where their music did save the world, but as it turns out, them fiddling with the past did not
Changes
guarantee that happened. You know,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Did
I
you ever
didn't-
see the third one?
No,
No,
I
I did
like-
not.
Still never.
I
seen it.
enjoyed
I
it,
think
but
I did, but I honestly don't remember it.
I enjoyed
there
it,
was
but
some-
it kind of looked like Keanu Reeves forgot how to smile. Like he was like, I'm not sure how to have this fun.
The too
Yeah.
many John Wick movies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like
One
he
too
couldn't
many.
break character.
yeah. They definitely did one too many Matrix movies, man. I saw that new Matrix movie, and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
All right. Well, don't read the trades, Jeremy. You don't know about that? Matrix 5.
Oh,
What? No.
But the Wachowskis are not writing it.
They're not writing or directing it.
it doesn't.
They're leaving
matter.
it
It
to
doesn't
what's his
matter.
name? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nobody
You're
wants
exactly
it.
right. There's a screenwriter who's going to be directing his first film, and it's going to be M5, whatever the fuck they're going to
Man,
call it.
look, that's just
Yeah.
another cow.
Matrix regurgitated.
Yeah. This
Too
is another.
Matrix, too furious.
This is
Yeah.
another cow, like so many others, that needs to go out to the pasture.
Yeah,
That needs
It
to be
happens.
slaughtered and thrown
Yeah.
across an animator's table.
It needs to
My
be
God.
slaughtered, gutted,
What?
and have its guts used in an animated film about music saving the universe.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
what about Buckaroo Banzai? Doesn't a song? No.
No.
No, I don't
I'm
think
trying
so.
to think. I'm trying to think. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I can't. I honestly, I can't think of one. That's
See, in my mind, as limited as my knowledge is of mid-century musicals, it would be a mid-century musical. It would be something like, you know, Yankee Doodle Dandy or some shit where it would be like just like America or some shit.
Yeah.
well. That's. I mean,
I can't think of one.
it's like Adam said. It's that montage of saving the community or
A
saving
musician.
friends or something like that. But it's not saving the world.
A musician saves the world
What about
in
Crossroads?
Wild Zero. But not with the power of music, but with the sword in his guitar.
Yeah.
Well, then you could go El Mariachi and
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Six String
I mean,
Samurai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Six String Samurai, yeah, but that's not quite the question though.
No, it's not.
No.
Huh?
No, you can't save the day. You've got to save the world.
Yeah.
You got to save reality. Something like that,
I mean,
What
Yes,
are some
everyone.
favorite?
If you've never seen Fish Story, you must.
I've never seen Fish Story.
You need to see Fish Story.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
Yeah,
It's a Japanese film. It's difficult to. It's not the easiest film to find. It's pretty
think-
low budget,
But I can hook you up.
Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
low budget. But oh yeah, you guys have the plot. Well, we'll mention that on air.
Nick, do you have connections in India? Is that what you're saying? Because
I wish.
I don't have a good agent in India, and I'm afraid to get sick in my computer. And I would really love to know a great doctor in India that could help me with some of the films I haven't seen.
Hello, Atom.
Hello, Adam. This is Daisy. Yeah.
Just stick around when we get offline.
Patiently waiting. I have the hookup that you've been looking for.
I know the title, but I don't know anything about the film. I got a fair number of Japanese movies under my belt, but it just makes me think of Big Fish, which is a brutal film.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just recently revisited both Love and Peace and Cold Fish. Speaking of fish,
Boy, those are two different movies.
Yeah, two very different but closely released years. Cheyenne Sono films.
The Cold Fish is Korean, right?
No, Cold Fish. No, that's
that is Sono.
Yeah, and it's based on a true story about a dog breeder who killed his customers or killed his business partners. But yeah,
the humans or the dogs?
The humans.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
that's Sono's. Sono only has like one serial killer movie. It's Cold Fish. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I don't like it quite.
I'm okay, I guess. Yeah, because he's not really a serial killer in Suicide Club.
Right. Yeah.
There is mass death, though.
Mass death and tag too. Well, I think we all know how we feel about rock and roll. I don't think that we really need to have like a vote on it.
Anyone that has a problem with this movie is going to get a visit from me. You're going to find me in your driveway one morning, and that's it for you.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a singular experience. So how can you not recommend that, even if it's not like a perfect movie? It's still clearly something that I could. And again, this is something that we have talked a lot about on Total Recall, is whether or not you could recommend this to someone who is younger than you, to someone who is like 20 or 30 years younger than you, someone who is
100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
The truth is absolute. Like,
and
you gotta be kidding me, man! Like, you should see this movie.
Yeah, and I would say any age without a big disclaimer. I would say, depending, on your 6-year-old child and their own state of development, I think that anyone at any age can enjoy this on some level. It's not terribly violent. The demon stuff could be a little scary for very young kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
also, like, there's female exploitation that's like,
yeah, it's pretty slight by today's standards.
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
I saw worse in cartoons as a child.
Yeah. And I can't believe it's not butter commercial.
I grew up with Bugs Bunny and lipstick and a grass skirt, so
yeah, Pepe Le Pew was
a little grapey. Yeah,
I want my sexy M&Ms back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
give us back the heels.
All right, well,
the heels.
All right, well, you probably want your show back too. You want everything back, okay, sir? Okay.
I mean, I'm. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I had this experience with Barbara the past week. I swore I showed her this movie because I like it so much, and it's like such an important part of my collection. And she swears up and down that I did not show her this movie. I'm constantly running across people that haven't seen this movie yet.
Yeah, it's never been an easy to come by movie.
No, there's distribution issues.
Yeah, and the story
it's out now.
Yeah, what we talked about at the start of the show is that it was a cable mainstay, and as you pointed out, immediately disappeared. So like, this is the perfect thing to like plug something in someone's like psyche.
Yeah,
like it just came along and was like, you know what? I'm incredible, but I disappear. I don't exist anymore. You don't even remember my name.
Really, anyone's psyche, because like, I know that my mom would probably sit through it. She's 70 now. I know she would probably sit through it, but like, she's not interested in loud music anymore. She used to very much be a part of the music scene. But like, I'm trying to think of somebody I wouldn't show this to, and I'm having a hard time coming up with anybody because
Country music fans.
they
Yeah.
need to see this. They need to see this.
Yeah,
Depends
country
on
music
which
fans
era.
and people with absolutely no connection to the arts.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would never
And they
show
do
this to my
exist. They
sister.
do exist. Like people that just don't fucking get art at all. Like
There are people who hate animation.
Well, I would never hang out with those people.
Yeah,
yeah, me neither.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I pretty much cut them out of my life.
yeah.
Everyone should watch
It's a
this.
deal breaker.
If you're watching the stream and you made it this far in on the replay, you must see this movie.
Yeah.
Get a copy of this movie by legal means, and just sit down with it. It's not a long movie. It's an hour and a half tops. I think of the amount of clueless hipsters that have no idea this movie exists and what their reaction would be to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like on some level, even the most idiotic, superficial person could get that this movie is interesting and important and entertaining.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also I think the farther away you get from it, the more unlikely this union of artists is.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is a lightning in a bottle sort of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we love it on Total Recall. Like
We
say
do.
all the way. Like
Yeah.
absolutely 100%.
Which brings up a good question. What are we doing next time?
That's a very good question.
That's a scary question.
Well, Empress Buttercup couldn't make it tonight.
Bride of Pumpkinhead.
I feel like if we still have Bride of Pumpkinhead available, I know we had some.
What have you done with the Bride of Pumpkinhead?
I didn't do anything.
She went to go get him a beer and then she didn't come
I
back.
know, like that.
Is she back in the canvas sack?
Crawl space alert.
Oh boy.
So what is the criteria for a Total Recall movie? What is
Well,
what's the
I
elevator
feel like
pitch?
I feel like the real idea behind it is we all have these like distant memories of films, where we're not sure. Obviously, when we were young, we thought it was cool. But then when you revisit it as an adult, you're like, that's not so cool, And or maybe you're like, holy shit, that is the best, I like childhood me was right, It just depends.
Or maybe it was just like Jeff and I mean, we watched stuff we didn't necessarily even really like. We just watched it anyway.
No. I love that you mentioned Space Invaders because I have seen that once and only once, and that's when it came out. And
Look,
yeah.
we all had a lot of bad weed and free time back then. It was a different time.
It is one of those movies where you're kind of like, like
I don't think I've seen this.
I've never seen Space Invaders.
I have not.
Oh, is
I've never
this
seen it.
is this Buttercup? Buttercup, do you have a suggestion too?
The pinnacle of comedy.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
For some reason, my mind went to two extremes, and these are not official suggestions, but like
Right. No,
it
I
is
get
It is
Yeah.
Buttercup.
Oh,
The
okay.
the
Do you
first
have the
thing-
suggestion, Empress Buttercup? I just want to know real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I
First
do
thing that
want to
popped
hear
into
yours.
my
too.
head was Repo Man, but it's obviously
Yeah.
a great film, so that's not quite within the criteria. The other
Yeah.
one I thought of was Suburbia by Penelope Spheris, which was
Yeah.
a very formative movie for me.
Yes.
I
yes.
burned out the VHS on that.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, wow, what a bunch of stupid crap.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, you're in no way legally bound to these thought
It's
farts.
It's wonderful to see you, Jay. Thanks for popping in, man.
Oh God.
We've already talked about the movie, though. We're all done.
We watched
Yeah.
the damn movie.
We watched
the
the movie.
movie,
We
yeah.
already watched your
That's like,
cameo
yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Jay doesn't know he's in this movie.
So I feel like it's been like a decade since I saw Suburbia. I have watched Repo Man every few years.
Yeah, I've
um,
seen Repo
my
Man a
entire
bunch.
life.
I'll go ahead and veto Repo Man myself because it's obviously a fantastic film.
What did you want to
Yeah,
add?
yeah.
What did
But I do want to
Empress?
hear what. Yeah, I do want to hear what Empress Buttercup has to say. So, yeah. Well,
I'm trying to.
I do like the
I've
idea of
seen
Space
Suburbia.
Have Yeah, I do like the idea.
I've
of
never
Space
seen
Invaders, 'cause
Space Invaders.
I've never
don't-
seen it. I just
I
looked
don't
at it
know
at
it.
IMDb. I've never watched that movie.
You've never watched this movie.
And the pinnacle
No.
of comedy. That's
That's a bold statement.
And-
something that has to be
I
seen.
was only
And I
12
think-
when it came out, so
Yeah,
you
and
know what
I,
mean?
I think you've noticed I haven't used much in the way of banners, but we have an old school banner that could have potentially applied.
Let's just watch something for Puppet Toes.
Yeah, I know.
How did that not get used for Mannequin? By the
How
way,
did that-
how did that not come up for Mannequin?
Did we not use it?
No,
It's
we
in,
didn't.
I mean,
No,
it's
I
in the
think we
folder.
did.
It's in the folder.
I think we did.
Yeah,
Definitely some sexual tension with that puppet. I mean,
yeah, that's what the
donate.
80s appears to be all about.
Oh, God. Now we're back to Howard the Duck.
Look, when I was young, yeah, I know. When I was young, I thought
look,
Hot
the
to
pinnacle of
Trots.
comedy was like, it's totally not
Yeah.
very good.
When I was young, I thought Hot to Trot starring Dabney Coleman and Bobcat Goldthwait was funny.
Mr. Ed reboot.
And I'm not
Goldthwait.
and I'm not willing to watch that. You know, like,
Nope.
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch Police Academy too.
Oh, The Earthling.
How dare you?
What is The Earthling?
I have never seen The Earthling.
Does anyone have a computer they could pop that up on?
I don't have any.
Wizard,
It's
you can
1980 adventure film,
1980
American Australian, filmed in Australia.
filmed in Australia in
Wow.
1980.
What's
This
going
oh,
on?
it is. It is the one that it was the one I had to Google it. I'm like, is that the one with Ricky Schroeder? It is the one with Ricky Schroeder.
Wait,
It
Wait,
is.
well, Jeff, we've
And
seen
William
this, Jeff.
Holden.
We've seen this.
we've seen this?
I'm sure we've seen this.
You're sure we've seen this? Holy,
It's a Ricky Schroeder movie from 1980. How could we not have seen it?
I
I
don't
can't-
feel so good, Mr. Stark.
I can't get much more totaled recall than that, where you're telling me I've seen it and I don't remember it. But Ricky Schroeder is sci-fi 80s.
I might be sick.
Whoa.
next week.
It's
Whoa!
Ricky
Oh
the
my
room
God.
is spin.
I
room
am
is spinning.
totally down with this.
I
Empress
am
Buttercup.
too,
No, I'm watching
actually.
the trailer like we have to watch this. We have to.
Oh, dude, the trailer tells you something. Okay, all right, here we are.
I
Because,
especially
uh,
I want to hear your memories
Yeah.
of it and why you chose it. And
Yeah.
Dude, this looks crazy, man. We got to watch this.
I am totally down with this.
I have a vague memory of watching this on HBO, like when I was probably still in high school. I might have actually been in middle school when I saw this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is crazy. I
No,
haven't
thank you.
thought about the Earthling in forever.
Dude, I just watched enough of the trailer. I want to see how far this goes. I want to see if Ricky Schroeder eats human flesh at some point in this movie.
What?
I think it could happen.
Would you settle for cow brains?
Would I? Would I? Sweet.
Six
Oh, man.
Dead World.
Can we please do the Earthling? Can we please watch this?
We're obviously watching the Earthling.
Yes.
There can
And I do.
clearly-
I want to come
clearly
back.
be no doubt.
I want to come back to Space Invaders at some
I
point.
do. I want to come back to space.
Yeah.
I'm not poo-pooing space.
I think we got the
Invaders
next
at
two
all.
lined up. I think it's like
Yeah,
bam,
yeah.
bam. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think I would also
Double
be
trouble.
down for Suburbia at some point because I don't think I've seen that one either.
I would actually.
I know I haven't seen Space Invaders.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back in the day, I have seen Suburbia probably 200 times via VHS. Like I thought that was just
Yeah.
the coolest thing ever when I was 16.
Yeah.
And now even just without rewatching it, I know it's trash. So I think that would be fun to tear apart. But
Well, a movie that I think of when you describe that, something that was like kind of formative at a funny time in my life, would be Dogs in Space.
yes,
I bet
Dogs
that-
in Space
That
also.
shit, I bet that shit is trash. I
I
bet,
bet
that's
I bet
trash.
it's just unbearable now.
Yeah, I bet it's garbage.
Yeah.
dogs.
But he is cute.
Well, what's this about?
Oh boy.
Well, I'm excited about the Earthling. Ricky Schroeder. Good grief.
Sweet. Human flesh.
What would you like on your tombstone? I'm excited about the Earthling.
Yeah,
Ricky Schroeder?
dude, I'm
Guys,
not
and
getting.
Will-
Tom
and
Baker movie?
William Holden.
Yeah,
And I didn't know who Will. I'm pretty sure I didn't know who William Holden was when I saw it, obviously, because I think I was probably like, I don't know.
Oh my God, Jay! At some point, we have to do Beastmaster.
oh yeah.
Absolutely.
When's the last time you saw Beastmaster?
Oh man, I watched Beastmaster about 3 years ago.
That was
I,
like the
I got a
perennial
fur up
on
my ass,
HBO.
and I bought it on Amazon and streamed it.
I haven't seen it in forever, but oh my God, I've watched it 200 times on.
Can we do a double feature with Jim Cotta?
Oh,
Jim Cotta.
oh yes.
Jeremy's excited.
I didn't know.
He's gonna go
So
make another kid.
terrible. Oh,
Yeah,
so terrible. Movie's awful.
we haven't watched a single thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger yet either.
Thank
Like,
God.
I mean, like this. There's such a net, that could be
Yeah.
cast.
If we ever watch an Arnold movie,
Mhm.
like there's a couple that I would like to watch because
Commando. I mean, we
Well,
thought Commando was the shit.
and Commando's terrible, but it's hilarious.
I bet it is.
It
It
is.
does not hold
I've actually watched Commando with Eli. Or the boys have walked into the room with me watching Commando, and I'm like laughing my ass off, and they're like,
Hey Dad,
"What are you watching?" Yeah, exactly. Like I'm watching Commando. You got to watch this.
No thanks.
But they did. They thought it was funny, and they showed me an iPhone case that has Arnold Schwarzenegger with the 4-barrel rocket.
I saw that.
Oh yeah,
And that's your
good.
camera. And that's your camera
Yeah,
lenses.
that's
Yeah.
the camera. Yeah.
I just about
That's-
shit my
that's it.
pants. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I saw
must
that.
have
That
it.
was that was.
Well,
so
now I want an
great.
iPhone.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
But I've never watched the one where he gets pregnant, and I think maybe if we
Junior.
ever watch one, we should watch Junior where he gets pregnant.
Don't you dare.
Oh,
Does
God.
anyone
No, because
watch-
somebody
bad.
had to have watched that a lot and liked it, and I
Yeah,
don't
does
think
someone
that's fine.
So
And no one
bad.
did.
did anyone like that?
No.
Okay.
Crawl is a masterpiece.
I just rewatched.
Oh yeah,
this
this Jay Goodwin knows what's going on.
Yeah, Space
No,
Hunters.
no.
Yeah.
No, don't fall under his spell. You will, you will regret it.
Do not feed into that.
I just rewatched Space Hunter,
It's
and
like-
it is far
Jeremy,
worse than I
Jeremy has
remember.
watched B-sides. He's watched it. He knows what he's talking about.
I had a
It's like
huge,
feeding gremlins after midnight. Don't do it.
I had a huge Molly Ringwald thing, like every red-blooded American white male did, and
Mhm.
she is awful in that movie.
Fuck her.
And
How
that
dare you?
she's very annoying in that film.
she's
That's one thing I
irritating
remember
as
about it.
F.
Like
She's my
I haven't
nemesis.
seen it in a long time.
It's terrible. It's
But
absolutely
I
terrible.
do remember being like, I want to watch. I remember when I worked at a video store, I was like, I'm going to watch this because like I have good memories about it. And I
Metal
just
Storm
realized,
is better. Metal
I
Storm
just-
is better than Space Hunter.
yeah, I just realized that Michael Ironside's a bad guy in this movie. I'm like,
Oh, I love
But
Michael
you-
Ironside.
you can't-
I love
you
the
cannot
bad
I'll
guy.
watch
say
any
Metal
movie
Storm.
with Michael Ironside in it.
Yeah.
He's the best part
But-
of that movie.
but you're
It's
right,
not a
like-
good movie.
Like, yeah, this was when I was a young adult, and I was like, Molly Ringwald is like a disaster in this film.
Yeah, and even her being soaking wet through half the movie doesn't make up for how bad it is. Like,
Yeah.
you can try. I mean, that's a tough wank. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ouch.
Megaforce
That's-
is a good call, actually. Oh no, I'm being drawn into the Goodwin web.
There it is.
I love Megaforce. I do.
Robot Jocks. When's the last time you saw
Oh, I was
Robot
just-
Jocks?
I have it on DVD.
When's the last time you
Robot
saw that?
Jocks!
Painful.
With-
Barbara, have you told
The
your,
minute Megaforce
I don't
came up,
know.
that was the first thing that popped my head was Robot Jocks.
has Barbara told her Molly Ringwald story on this channel yet?
Not on this one, but yeah, we're happy to hear it. Yeah.
Oh.
If she
So-
wants to. I'm not.
Well, okay. No, it's very brief, but when I was very little, like I couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 at most. I went with my parents to have dinner at somebody's house in Sacramento somewhere. And because my dad knew this guy, he was a musician, and my mom and dad had gone to see them play somewhere locally in Sacramento, but he was a very known musician. And they thought, oh well, that's fine, we'll bring our daughter, and she can play with your daughter while we have dinner or whatever. And so I go over there and I meet this girl. She's my age, and she has the nicest stuff in her bedroom. She has a light bright. I've never had a light bright, and I
With the
really
extra
wanted to play
eggs.
with it. Right. And I'm like, oh, can we play with your light bright? And she wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me touch it. She didn't want to mess with the design that had been on her light bright.
No.
And so I'm like, whatever. She was kind of mean. I didn't really.
You can't change my light bright.
Yeah.
Got it just the way I like it.
Yeah.
One of those kids.
Yeah. She was one of those kids. Anyway. So cut to probably 8 years later, 9 years later, my mom and I are watching 16 Candles. We had rented it and we were watching 16 Candles at home. And my mom perks up and she goes, huh, we know that girl. And I went, you know Molly Ringwald. She goes, yeah, we had dinner over at their house one time when you were little. Do you remember that? I'm like, the girl with light bright was fucking Molly Ringwald? I had no idea. I didn't recognize her. It was my mom who had to bring it back into attention. But yes, Molly Ringwald would not let me play with her light bright as a child.
Bitch.
How dare her?
Wow.
Yeah.
Molly's got it just the way she likes it.
That's
Well, I
amazing.
remember-
You
I
can't
do
touch it.
remember that it was Molly Ringwald because her dad was a jazz musician and he was blind. And I remember that being a topic about don't pay attention to that when we go over there by my parents. And I'm like,
So-
whatever. She has a light bright, but she wouldn't let me
Wait.
play with it.
I'm curious now. Who is Mr. Ringwald? Because I know a little bit about jazz.
I don't know, except that he was a fairly known jazz musician. He might have been like a session player, but he was known as being a jazz musician.
I really
And-
want to meet Molly Ringwald now.
Well, I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Oh no, I'm
Bob-
gonna ask her about her light
Um,
bright.
Bob Ringwald.
Hey, tell me, you have a light bright when you were a kid?
Bob
You-
Ringwald,
Yeah.
Sacramento jazz musician.
Yeah.
Dead at 80. Oh God, it's a paywall.
Oh.
I found the Sacramento Bee, which has 8 million pop-ups.
Oh.
99 cents for 1 month. You've been selected. Hey, I won, guys.
Hey. Congratulations.
Bob
That's
Ringwald.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful news.
Huh. I won an iPad, suckers. Interesting. I wonder what he played. Oh, she's
Oh,
done
well,
a
I know. I know. Well, I just looked at her the Wikipedia page. So he did Dixieland Jazz, and I know exactly where they found him because they found him in Fulton Street Jazz Band. And
Molly
Fulton
has
Street is
done
like a
Molly's done some jazz singing as well.
yeah.
There's a photo of her singing at like age 6 in front of her father. He was a pianist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my Molly Ringwald story.
I'm sorry to
Like
put
I
you on
said,
the
I
spot,
had
but I
no
love that story.
I
Yeah.
had
No, it's
no
great.
idea
It's
that
great.
it was Molly Ringwald until we were
Yeah.
watching 16 Candles.
Wait a minute.
But
Can I
yeah.
share my screen? Is that a thing I can do? I don't know what it's like being a guest.
Did you share your screen?
My screen, yeah. Let me see.
Do I have to do something on my end to help you with that? I
Hang
don't know.
on.
You do
I'm
that.
boomering, folks. I'm
Oh my
boomering.
gosh. Hey, can we do this? Hey,
Share a screen. Share a screen.
that's just it's not my show anymore.
Here we go.
The light bright brat.
I'm doing it. I'm on the internet. Oh, look. It's a paywall again.
All right. The paywall. Yeah.
Log in. Yeah, let me log in. Oh, this
You
is
could
so
be a
not worth
winner.
it.
Well, folks,
sure.
I'm gonna have to boogie. It is almost 11 o'clock on the East Coast, so
Oh boy, we're having too much fun.
it's been a blast. But
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Sorry about that.
Well, Jeremy, we're gonna see you. We're gonna be watching The Earthling next week.
All right,
I'm
Wednesday.
super
Bye,
exci-
guys.
Yeah, super
I'll see you
excited
then.
about it. All right.
Good night.
Adios.
Cheers. Bye, Jeremy.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Here we go. Oh, God, the pop-up keeps... no, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I tried.
that's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I could do, though? I could screen cap it really fast. It's a cute picture.
You know, Jay, I've got a video that I'm a big fan of. I can show it anytime I want right now. Man. I've got...
Don't trust anyone calling themselves emperor. I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it. I'm boomering,
That's fine.
but I'm working on it.
That's fine. I'm excited to see the Earthling. That's going to be exciting.
Oh, I think I got it. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I am super excited to see the Earthling.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
We don't have
Well,
any.
he doesn't play piano anymore.
No.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any.
No, he
Ricky
passed away.
Schroeder.
But
He's
yeah,
dead.
like I said, I
died?
remembered. I think he passed away, didn't he?
I hope so. They buried him.
Yeah.
Help! Hello! Help!
Hey-oh!
Guys!
They'll be here all week, and
I'm struggling. I give up. But there's a really cute picture of like an 8-year-old Molly Ringwald singing on the sidewalk in front of her father's piano.
Oh.
Just imagine it in your heads.
Oh.
I can see it.
Listen, Jay. I don't need your shit except on Fridays for ratings.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
like I said, I did not know that it was Molly Ringwald at the time I was playing with her.
Yeah.
And I certainly didn't think about it, you know,
Well, what was her
until my
first
mom
movie?
brought it
yeah,
back
she
up.
was- yeah.
I think she did commercials when she was really young. I mean,
Okay.
Precocious is sort of her middle name. But don't
But
quote.
yeah, that's my Molly Ringwald story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I do like the story. I really do.
And
I'm
if I ever
almost-
meet her, I will talk shit
Like,
to her.
like if I ever met her and I shared that with her, she'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She probably has like no clue.
She has
but-
no memory of that.
Yeah, she like,
But
but
to
it's
you,
stuck in my memory.
it was formative, and it affects all of your decisions today.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
could see it.
put
Well,
a shameless
yeah.
plug in your chat if that's okay.
Oh yeah, please do. Absolutely.
All right. We we put up a video today on the internet. We posted the director's commentary for Rock and Roll earlier today on B-roll stage.
Oh really?
If
Yes.
you're interested in learning more about this fantastic movie, please give it a watch and a like. We really appreciate it.
That is a great idea.
All right. Well, it just, what a coincidence. I made a video file of stills and I happen to have the DVD in my computer, and gosh, who's double dipping? This guy.
Well, I absolutely loved having the movie to talk us along. I mean, that was
Yeah, I
really
mean, it's a
fun
visual
addition.
movie.
Yeah,
As much as it's a musical movie, you kind of need to see, the quality of the workmanship and the craftsmanship in this film.
It's hard to it's hard. It's often hard to sell animated films. Did you ever see the first this Final Fantasy that had Steve Buscemi in it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And man, I went to go see that in the theater, and I thought it was good.
Did you really?
I enjoyed. I remember enjoying the animation, enjoying the characters. Yeah, but I only saw it the once.
I had very mixed feelings. I watched it in a dank studio apartment in Koreatown on a CRT screen. I was a little underwhelmed, but I was interested in the technology. So
yeah.
Maybe that's
and animation in a dank studio apartment on a CRT screen that's a hard sell.
High tech.
You're not really getting the experience.
It was very Neuromancer. I typed a dystopian future novel on a manual typewriter.
But guys, please do check out B-roll stage in general and Rock and Roll specifically, as well as B-sides. I think some of the folks on the panel you might see on B-sides every once in a while. I don't know. We talk about getting Jeremy a better microphone and headset.
That seems like sort of a moral imperative.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless him for his content, but his bandwidth is a little crushed. Yeah, please join us every Friday for our live show on B-roll stage. You can watch me whine about not getting monetized, and we continue America's affair with casual racism every Friday.
Yeah.
Well, can I pimp something out too then?
Oh,
that's right. You have a show tomorrow.
I do have a show tomorrow.
Post the link. Post the link. Post the link.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how you do the YouTube.
I know. God. So I'm going to be on a gentleman, Northern English Bastards channel tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we are going to be talking about the wonderful, wonderful film, A View to a Kill.
The career closing film with Roger Moore.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's so delightful.
Uh-huh.
And Grace Jones is just at her peak Grace Jonesiness.
She's fighting hard with Christopher Walken over who can eat more scenery.
I was going to say, this is kind of a sneak preview as to what Christopher Walken would become, right? Like it's He's kind of like
It is
He
because
sort of
I think
found his instrument. Yeah.
because this is before King of New York, right?
is it, but it's not before, but it's after Deer Hunter, right?
Yes, it's after Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Does Deer Hunter count? I don't know. Like that's kind of more like cutting your teeth. But then when it comes to what is starting to define what you add to a movie, like this is like kind of the start of that. Like, what is Christopher Walken? You know, if you're just like, get me Christopher Walken, you know, like I need that Walken, you know, je ne sais quoi, then this is really the movie that kind of starts it, right? You know, is his ham bone,
His cowbell, if you will.
his cowbell.
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. When he asked me what my favorite Bond movie was, I said, well, I mean, for Sean Connery, I
Brainstorm
have
too,
this or this. For Roger Moore, I like this. Or A View to a Kill because it's such a ham-fisted,
Mhm.
slapsticky, bad Bond movie.
Yeah,
It
And
stinks of the 80s.
yeah, it
Yeah.
really does.
It's like this
And
cloying, sickly, sweet, burning flesh kind of 80s vibe that you can't duplicate, really.
yeah.
And you shouldn't. I really
No.
don't think any of you should try.
My
and
favorite Bond movie is Our Man Flint.
Oh, ooh, cheeky.
Now, I actually would do like there's a few movies in that vein that we've talked about doing. I know we're still rolling the camera. This is kind of an end stream conversation, but whatever. Uh, I really liked Our Man Flint. There's Quartermain kind of movies, but then you, Mick, turned me on to Doc Savage.
Oh, Doc Savage is the best.
There are Doc Savage movies?
Who knows about the Doc Savage movie?
I
No, there
don't.
is
Not
a
me.
Doc Savage movie, and it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
With shit, what's his name?
no idea.
Yeah, you got me.
He was Tarzan in one of the Tarzan.
Johnny Weissmuller?
No, it was later than that. It's
No, Mom.
Ron something.
Quartermass. What I say,
Oh,
Quartermain,
how?
it's Quartermass. Whatever. You know.
Quatermass. The
Ron
Quatermass
Eli.
Experiment?
Ron
Good point.
Eli is Doc Savage.
Oh, okay.
I would watch that.
Doc Savage.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh damn! I had a thought, but then I didn't.
Yeah. Man of Bronze. He's exactly right. That's it.
Like for me, Buckaroo Banzai is a
Oh,
total
wow.
rip off of Doc Savage.
Really? Oh, now I have to see it. Jake Goodwin and I are massive Buckaroo nerds.
Yeah.
Wow, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
what
I've
were
always been a huge, like my entire life I have been a John Lithgow fan, right?
sure.
Like ever since I was a kid. I mean, I loved him in the Twilight Zone, the movie,
Hmm.
and I fucking worshipped Buckaroo Banzai. Like I thought that movie was so
I think
great.
he's the best part of World According to Garp, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I would go with that. And when I saw Buckaroo Banzai as an adult for the first time in quite a while, I was like, God damn, he's feral. Like
Yeah.
how did I ever love this guy in this movie? Because I mean I do love him in this movie, but like what does it say about me as a child that I loved him in this movie? Because he's practically foaming at the mouth. You can't understand a word he says. Like he's wow, you know.
I don't know. His Mussolini and Buckaroo Banzai is probably one of the
Yeah.
most captivating things I've seen since Popeye the movie.
Yeah, I think John Lithgow is he's one of those actors that you really can just watch him in anything
Uh-huh.
and he's
Yeah.
going to be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched that stupid show he was on for a while about
Oh,
aliens.
Third Rock. Yeah, I
Because
Yeah.
because I was like, because I just find his voice captivating. You know,
Yeah.
He made the show
Very
watchable.
compelling.
he made this. Yeah, I mean, it was complete junk food, like to the extreme.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was sitcom.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a sitcom.
garbage. It's
Yeah.
garbage. It's garbage.
But
Jane Curtin and John Lithgow. Who else is on that show?
That kid.
yeah,
kid?
the three named kid from
Ugh.
Was that Robin?
don't know.
From Batman? What's his
yes,
What's with Gordon
that's the
Levitt?
one. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
Gordon Levitt.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
you're right. Yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that in a long time. But who's the lady on it? Do you know who the lady is?
I can't remember.
Jane-
I'm trying hard to remember her name. No,
Not Jane Curtin. Wasn't there a girl with like big lips?
Yes.
Big features?
Oh yes. The other alien.
She was
yeah.
Big tall
and
gal.
yeah, and for the life of me, I can't remember her name, but she had a great
set of features.
um she had a
Kristen
great
Johnson.
character arc on one episode of Sex in the City where she played this former party girl in New York who had gotten invited to a very chic party as she has already fallen out of fashion. And she starts to light up a cigarette in somebody's house and they're like, oh, no smoking in here. And she opens a window and she starts to smoke outside the window, of this high rise. She's like, God, remember when New York was fun? It's so boring now. I wish I could die. And then she falls out the window to her death.
Oh,
Nice.
It was such a small, not even a 5-minute moment on screen, but it was immeasurably enjoyable to watch because of her performance. It was so great. And I can't think of her name now.
Kristen Johnson.
Yes.
I have fond memories of her.
Yeah.
Barbara, you want to play with my light bright?
Sure.
And on that note,
I think we have to go ahead and say goodnight.
Good night to everyone. Good night, Princess Pumpkinhead.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I care very much about this movie. I'm sentimental about it. I respect it and admire it.
That really shined through, and I really appreciate all the info and insight that you gave us on it.
Happy to contribute. And we'll see you Friday. Thank you, Mick.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Bride of Pumpkinhead.
Sorry, Bride of Pumpkinhead. Sorry, Laura's had technical difficulties. And I'm sorry that Empress Buttercup couldn't join us either. But it was a fun evening. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
She can have her seat back next week.
Yeah.
I don't like Ricky Schroeder.
How dare you?
That's what you say now. That's what you say now.
Rick Schroeder.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Rick Schroeder now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Good night.
And careful getting home. Careful getting home.
Cheers.
Good night.